Hello and welcome to the One About Podcast, the show where we discuss only the best in film each week. This week we dive back into the prequel trilogy and see how great the second film in the prequels is even in 2020. This is the one about Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. I'm your host Dean. I also go by EndlessCola in places around the internet, and I am joined this week by the coarse Matt, the rough John, and the irritating Jordan. How are you doing this week, guys?
I'm okay with that
Rough?
title.
Good. I'm okay
I'll
with
take
it.
it.
It's still better than being called an Ewok.
What I'm really trying to say is you guys are all the sand in my life.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Then I get insulted.
Oh my god, man. Today has been some shit. Like I'm covered in spaghetti sauce right now. And
There's worse things, bro. I just finished a 60-hour work week in the sun. Yeah, I worked today.
bro, I mowed my entire lawn yesterday in the middle of the afternoon and again today. In the middle
Welcome to a fraction of my life.
No, yeah, I understand that. I'm just saying, like, I can kind of relate.
So yeah, well, at least you get it.
I used to do
At least
shit
you
like
get
that.
it. Yeah, you should get back into it.
Yeah.
Suffer with
dude,
me.
That's nothing. You want to hear my
No.
day? You want to hear my day so far? I woke up at 1 p.m. I watched Star Wars: The Clone Wars, cooked dinner, and now
I'm trying to
here.
get into a fight.
So,
And goodbye,
Click,
Jordan. It was
click.
nice talking to him, but we'll have to
Oh.
see him next week.
I've had a great
Asshole.
day. No kids rules.
Oh my god, dude. No, yeah, like I mean, when I used to do HVAC, I was up there on the roofs for hours and hours and hours in the hot summer Florida sun. It was fantastic. I know exactly what you're. Can I just interject something
Oh,
really
absolutely.
quick? John, thank you for bringing the birds back, man. I really appreciate it.
I love the birds,
No
to be honest.
problem. I'm
actually
trying
really
to,
like
I'm
the
trying to
birds.
keep this aviary open,
Yeah,
so I'm just
nice.
broadcasting
I love it.
the calming effects of birds in the background.
We're not talking about Star Wars, and we should be.
Most of our intros are way longer than this.
Yeah.
Like we haven't even got started yet. Like I haven't even like circled back to what I was saying about why I'm covered in spaghetti sauce. Well, on a lighter note, I will say that I was at the store before I came back here so we could start this recording, and I picked myself up a PlayStation VR, and I'm really excited to.
That's
jump into
random. Really? You just picked one
Did you
up?
put it
just...
back down?
He had a lot of thought. Like
I put it back down in my house.
Yeah, we had a conversation about this. Like, if he should get the VR or what was the portable called?
The Analog Pocket.
Yeah, the analog pocket. And like, we came to the decision. Well, he came to the decision, and I helped him along that the VR was the better choice.
Was it on sale?
PS5 or Xbox?
Okay, so
Didn't need to be on sale.
PS5.
He's getting it.
PS5 or
yeah, just
Xbox?
PS4.
PS5. Hard PS5, right?
PS5.
Right?
That-
Totally.
Oh, what we're
Yeah,
gonna
That's
get?
not even
PS5.
a question.
I'm not even considering getting an Xbox.
I have a
anyway.
PC. I don't need an Xbox.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what. Well, like someone had posted on Facebook about it, and I was
Like,
gonna
my
be like
childhood is
PS5,
all in
obviously, but I didn't want to
PlayStation.
seem like an asshole.
No, it's the
PlayStation
right
for life, bro.
decision.
No, dude, like I forget which outlet it was, but it's like Eurogamer or something did a poll from their readers to see like whether they're more interested in the PS5 or the Series X, and 85% of them said the PS5. Like you're not going to be the
That's gonna
asshole
be Microsoft,
odd man
right?
out.
You're not.
Like
No, because
as
they're
Americans,
they're
though,
raking
should
in
we
hand over
should we
fist with
be?
Game Pass.
Doesn't.
No,
That's it.
okay, no.
No, they're doing fine
PlayStation's an
in other
American
ways.
company now.
Oh, what?
Is it majority owned in America?
Really?
No, but like they moved the PlayStation brand to America. They're based out of like Seattle or something now.
Okay.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah, they're
interesting.
still owned by Sony, but their PlayStation is run out of America. And also, like, should I feel bad about Microsoft? I don't give a shit about
Well,
you know how much money that
no.
company makes?
Bill
Yeah,
Gates
man.
is a piece of shit.
Stupid amounts of
So
money.
you're right.
Whoa!
What?
That's a little.
That's
com-
just
Out of-
not
out of-
accurate.
wait,
What are you
wait.
talking
Yeah.
about?
Out of everything I say, that's what you have a quarrel with. Remember that time?
Yes.
Remember that time?
Bill
Yes.
Gates.
Remember that time when Carrie Fisher died? That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, that was a dick move, but
I
like
mean,
you're just like super wrong about Bill Gates.
Yeah, like from public image, like unless you know him like personally and you know why he's a dick, like public facing Bill Gates is a generally wholesome.
Would
ass
you
person.
get a
Dude, like
coronavirus?
he spent millions upon millions upon millions of
Did he though?
dollars trying to figure out a way to get plumbing to disenfranchised
But when
countries
you're a
because
billionaire,
it's so
millions of
important to
dollars
Put
is
it
countries
like
put
around
it
the
this
chump
world.
way,
change.
Do you see
no,
Jeff
he
Bezos
Well, he's
doing
he's
that?
I didn't
I
say he
think
no,
Jeff
wasn't.
Bezos
he
Spoiler,
I
has-
didn't
don't.
say he wasn't a piece of shit.
no, Bill Gates still stands in line to get his own food from like chains. That's what I mean. Like he's just a
Wait,
wholesome
wait,
person.
wait,
He's
wait,
down to
wait,
earth.
wait. Because he stands in line, he's criminals stand in line, bro. Rapists
When
stand
you-
in line.
When you have millions
The
and
point is,
millions of
like-
dollars,
Yeah,
what I'm
like,
trying to say is
don't
when you
see
have like
Elon
that
Musk
much wealth,
doing that shit, like he's just
like
a dude
waiting at Pink's hot dogs, Elon Musk is like
No,
lets
no,
his
no, no, no,
driver
no.
go get his Pink's
No,
hot
no,
dogs.
no, no, no. Those people only eat the finest organic fucking food from
That's what
Wolfgang
I'm
Puck.
trying to tell you.
That- Yeah, that's what he's saying. They do not. Like they're just
I
normal
would
human
would
beings,
also largely suggest that Bill Gates does not eat fast food. Shit's horrible for you.
He
That's
told,
that's
oh,
actually
God, I'm about to
probably
surf
most
this
Yeah,
shit.
no, I mean
accurate.
I'm gonna say
Wolfgang
this. I'm gonna
Puck
do this shit.
makes all his
But
food.
like, but the
himself.
point is like, but the point, no, he does. That's the point, though. Like, no, he doesn't.
Somebody does.
Like, Bill Gates just lives a normal life like
No, he
you and
doesn't.
I do.
Absolutely not.
And he just happens to have a ton of extra money. He's the only billionaire who just gives his money away, and not because like the government forced him to. He just does.
Well, I mean,
He is.
he just
I mean,
literally
he does seem
gives
to
it
be
away.
the most
give it away
philanthropic
now.
of the billionaires, but that's a
So
difficult
so
conversation.
he's a real. So okay, if you're that rich, how come we don't got any real life Batmans and Tony Starks flying around? I mean, it's
So
just
he should be
ridiculous.
Batman,
Absolutely
that little
ridiculous.
skinny.
Well, he should be
Yeah,
financing
like,
something.
He should be.
You're, dude, you're just sitting there like, Bill Gates, why aren't you more
Why
of an
don't you
asshole who
fund
just
real
wastes your
life
money?
superheroes?
Right.
Thank you. Like
Why
he's
why-
proving the point for us.
Like, why are you such a good human being that you give it to less fortunate people and invest in studying things that will make the world's general?
You posted a picture of him waiting in line. Nice. You got.
Yep, I
got
told
me.
you.
Because
In
he's
sneakers.
just a dude, man. Like Bill Gates. There's actually a really great documentary on Bill Gates. I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah, but probably Bill
that you
Gates
should watch,
probably
dude. Like,
paid
it's-
for it and stuff to make himself look good. And how do we know that's just not some other old guy? That doesn't really. I'm not convinced that that's Bill Gates. You
That's
can't
some
convince me.
other old guy.
That is
Yeah.
100% Bill Gates.
Jesus
dude.
Christ.
Nobody looks like Bill Gates, dude. Like that
Except
is
for
1,000,000% Bill Gates.
Fuck.
Did you
dude.
blood test that man? No.
Like
He has.
I can't
been
believe
cloned.
we're having this conversation.
Jesus
this is
Christ.
so ridiculous.
You're-
I can't believe you
You're
guys.
making yourself seem like more of an asshole than the Bill Gates you're imagining. All right, that's what you're doing right now.
Seriously.
I am absolutely more of an
100%,
I am
dude.
absolutely more of an asshole than Bill Gates ever could try to be. Okay, and that's get that clear that up right now.
Just imagine if he was a
Oh my
billionaire.
God. Y'all would be fucked. I'd be like, G.
Matt would be canceled before this podcast was
I'd be
over.
like, G-man, go get Dean. Just bring him here. Put the bag over his head. Bring him here.
I'm sorry. Oh my
Oh
God,
my
Jordan, that
God,
picture is
dude.
so good.
Gotta be him.
Must be this
Oh
other
my
guy.
God,
Oh.
dude.
Oh, I'm sorry, when you make the YouTube post for this, like you need to link
Is
this
that
picture.
the thumbnail?
Oh,
That's the
You
God.
need to, yes, you need to
Oh my
link this
God.
picture. I swear to
Must be
God.
this other guy.
It's so good.
That's a good one.
Oh,
title will be like,
Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
God,
I'm
dude.
convinced
I
they got the
lost
same
all
nose.
my shit.
So welcome to the Bill Gates
Your title of
podcast.
the video should be
guys.
exposing Bill Gates, and like there'd be five
Would you
minutes of
guys
us
get-
talking about Bill Gates, and then an hour of us talking about Star Wars. People be like, "What the hell just happened?"
Like the ultimate catfish.
You would get way more
Just
views. bro.
totally edit out the intro.
You would get the view count you're looking for. That's for sure.
Damn, that's brutal.
It's
Oh my
brilliant.
God.
It's brilliant, is what it is.
Oh, I'm lightheaded from laughing at that. Holy shit, dude. God, I was not ready for that.
I feel fulfilled.
Oh my
I
God.
feel
So anyway, the
fulfilled.
point is, Bill Gates is a great
I'm
guy.
not convinced.
Yeah.
You're not convinced me. You're wasting your
I
breath.
feel like
You know you're wasting your breath.
I'm not trying to convince you at
Exactly.
this
Like,
point.
I'm done
Although,
here.
like, I
You
really do
are.
mean it when I say that you should watch that documentary on him. Like, that's
Oh, I will. I will watch that, and
what
I
is
will
it
be.
called?
I'm
Let me
pretty
see if
sure
it's still on-
most-
It's
Let me
called.
see if it's still on.
It's
Most
called
people in the
Beyond
public
Rich.
eye are both not as good and equally not as bad as they're made out to be. So he's probably just a normal dude.
Yeah, it's called
He's
Inside Bill's Brain.
Did he?
I'm okay
Does
with
does he
It's actually a
affiliate?
3-part
Is he
series.
affiliated with it
Probably
in any
Michael-
way whatsoever? Besides it being about him.
Of
He's
course
in
he
it.
is.
like, he's literally in
I
the
feel
whole
like if
thing.
I
so
I'm
yeah,
sorry,
it's
if I paid
definitely
if I
affiliated with
paid to make a documentary about myself, I would make myself seem awesome. So would you, and so on and so forth.
Michael Jordan did it.
He didn't pay
no.
for it.
Yeah.
though. Like he's just in it.
No.
Michael Jordan did it. You see,
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan is a bad person.
No, Michael Jordan did it, but like,
Dude, Michael
He's
Jordan
still-
came out the other side looking like a piece
Michael
of
Jordan.
shit.
Michael
Yeah.
Jordan is a
He-
piece of shit. There's a story of a
No,
a
it's
dude.
not.
I think it's a
oh
rapper,
God.
and he
Oh,
he
it's about
tried
to
to
be a
he
thing.
tried to get a autograph from Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan only wanted to take pictures with the bitches.
That sounds
Like,
like a Michael
was like a
Jordan
jerk
in his
to him.
prime kind of
And once
thing.
I heard-
Yeah.
That
No,
I
no,
mean,
this
that-
is this
yeah,
is
it does
te-
sound like
this is
something
te-
he would do, but
this,
that doesn't
this
make
is
him a
not
bad
in his prime. This
person.
is like 10 years
Yeah.
ago. This is
It still doesn't matter.
So-
like, he's entitled to do whatever he wants.
So
He's
if
a
a
human
fan
being.
who's also just a famous guy comes up to you, but he's a fan wanting an autograph, you're gonna publicly humiliate
That's a
him?
complicated question.
Why would you do that?
Dude,
Yeah, that's a really
he's a human being too.
It's not like he went-
He doesn't owe
no,
you
no,
anything.
but no, you don't understand the context. I'll have to find it and send it to you so you can see. Like, wow, that was. But it was. I'll find it. But it was just like really like.
Yeah.
Why? He could have said he could have been polite when he told him no. You could say no, man, I'm busy, or like I'll catch up with you later. You don't have to like the way he did it was really
I think
like
that
dickheaded.
it-
Is all I'm trying to say. I'll have to find it.
That might be fair, but like at the same time, like he's not that kind of a public figure anymore. And even if he was, like he's still just a human being.
So why-
Once again, he doesn't owe us anything. He can tell you to go fuck off all he wants.
That's true. I do it every day. To
it doesn't
people.
make
That's
it
fair.
doesn't make you a
Like-
bad person.
Fuck
like
off,
his-
Dean.
His job is to run an NBA team. That's like if somebody was just a really big fan of what you do and came up to you. Are you going to give them the time of day? Like,
Well, yeah.
maybe, but maybe
people
not.
who are fans of me usually pay me to do work for them, and I absolutely do whatever they ask for money.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about like somebody was just watching
follow
you
you
do
around
your job
through-
one day, and then they just wanted an autograph.
I'd give
for
it to
some
them.
reason.
I
Like,
would.
It's weird.
I
man.
would. I'm not famous, so I don't battle
It's-
this. So yes, of course, I would give them my fucking autograph. I would feel cool.
I've actually had that type
my,
of interaction.
my point is, I understand what you're saying, but like the point that I'm trying to make is that like he's not in a position where he needs to interact with fans per se. He doesn't have to do anything at all for anybody except.
No, yeah, I
himself.
agree. But you can't tell
No,
me
of course
that I
you
can't
can.
call him an asshole.
Yeah.
If he was an asshole, I want.
No, like he could
I'm
have
not telling you.
been an
I'm just saying
asshole
that
in
you're
that
wrong.
moment.
You can't tell me I can't tell you you're wrong.
I can
either.
disagree with you. I can disagree with you though.
Of course you can. Just like I'm
Well,
disagreeing.
Michael
with you.
Jordan's an asshole in my
Just-
opinion. In your opinion, I'm an asshole.
I think both.
That's
I think
fair.
both can be valid. I think both can be.
Uh, that's the general opinion.
All right.
Jesus
All right,
Christ.
let's move on and let's get into Star Wars. This is dumb.
So-
What are we talking about? You gotta let
You're
us
the one
no,
who's
I-
bringing this shit up. That's the worst part.
Oh my god, dude. So Jordan, how's your week? been,
Uh,
man?
Yeah. Regale us, Jordan.
with my
1 o'clock.
Start at 1 p.m. today.
Start at 1 o'clock.
It's been fine. Just working, playing Ghost of Tsushima, which Matt,
Yeah.
I highly recommend you get because I know you have a PS4. I think you would love to play Ghost of Tsushima. Game's
I'll
incredible.
check it out.
Yeah, dude.
I'll check it out. What's it
Dude,
about?
it's so good.
What's it about?
The TLDR
Dude,
is it's a. Damn it, Matt, Dean, you take this. I can't even give it a good TLDR. Honestly, I think you're better at that than I am.
Okay.
Give me a long.
It's about
give me a long.
you
rant.
play
Just a LR.
No, I'll just give you a short version.
Okay.
You play as a samurai who's dealing with a Mongol invasion of an island in Japan called Tsushima.
But the tornadoes took him out. Problem solved. Tsunami.
Well, no tornadoes have taken them
Well,
out.
you
Like,
don't
essentially, like the game starts with the Mongol
Hold on.
invasion, and they wipe out almost all of the samurai on this island, and you
Did you guys
survive
ever?
and you seek revenge. That's
Well, the Mongols
basically
had
the
a
point.
very unsuccessful campaign in Japan twice.
In
Yeah, but it was because of the weather. They couldn't beach Japan because of the weather.
well, okay, Tsushima is not actually it is
Well-
a part of Japan, but it's not actually the mainland. It's an island.
Good shit. Anyways, Star Wars? Wars of the Star. You know what's bullshit about Star Wars? They don't fight one star.
How can we
Stupid.
delay this even more to annoy Matt? Let's see.
Goddamn.
Hey, John, how's the baby coming,
That's
man?
fine.
She just ate a bunch of prunes and crapped her
Yes, she
pants
did.
while she
They're
was
a
eating it.
laxative. They're a natural laxative, bro. You
Yeah,
deserve
and
that.
like Kim brought over was like she
you
just
deserve that.
ate all that. No, nothing about me. Kim's the one who decided to feed her prunes.
She
and I was like,
deserved.
you brought
She
that
yeah.
upon
She
yourself.
she
I was
deserved
like-
that. That's what happened. Yeah.
It's like I don't know why you would like. I told you she just crapped like almost to her chest, and you want to feed her prunes.
Jesus Christ.
Fine, do it. Fine. Other than that, she's already crawling, and she's not even 5 months. And then
Your child is better than other children.
we're setting up everything for the wedding. Yeah. So
You want to know a fun fact about
it's
crawling?
it's kind of a whirlwind of changes.
Crawling is great for their brain development because, like, to use the motor skills for 4 limbs works the brain harder than 2 limbs. So the longer they crawl instead of walk,
I
the
wish
better
more
for
people
their
knew
mind.
that. They always give me weird ass looks when I'm crawling around my apartment.
It's well, you're probably looking for something. You know, it makes sense if you like
No,
dropped
I
a
just
screw.
crawl around
and
Target
you're
and
looking
shit,
around
you know,
for-
just it's for my brain
It's-
development.
What about those people who like pretend
Just,
Yeah.
just
I am
licking the
COVID.
floor? Read the room,
Yeah,
dude.
read the room.
What was this? Was this jelly or was this blood? Definitely
Definitely
jelly.
blood and jelly. Let's bring it full circle. First,
Oh my
back to Bill
God.
Gates. If Bill Gates came to your house with the cure to coronavirus,
Damn.
would you take it? Would you take the cure to coronavirus from Bill Gates?
Probably.
Yes.
Okay,
I don't need it, but yes, I would still
drink the
take
Kool-Aid, Dean. Drink the Kool-Aid.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
Drink it up,
All
buddy.
right.
it. So stupid.
Just because we know, like, we see Bill Gates is not an asshole, we're drinking.
That fucking simp.
Definitely.
Yeah, like literally everyone else.
A gorilla.
Oh
That's
shit!
what Bill Gates wants you to
Yeah.
believe.
Dude,
A
and
gorilla in a
and he
boxing
ate
ring.
besides a gibbon. He's a greater threat than Bill Gates.
Yeah. Definitely.
Oh
Damn
my
it.
god.
We're gonna
keep
go to
telling you
we're
that
going
gibbon's
to San
gonna fuck
Diego
you up.
Zoo.
He
He's
probably
not
will.
gonna know what happened.
Yeah, ring your bell, buddy.
You're gonna go to
break into the
I'll have John with me. You better be watching this, John.
Start boxing their gibbon.
I'm telling you right now, you're gonna throw a punch at a gibbon, and then you're just gonna bring back nubs. I'm telling you right now, straight up, they're gonna call you Nubby afterwards.
Bro, I'll go with you. Just got my phone whipped out. This going straight on World Star, bro. Go ahead.
Is World Star still a thing?
All you're just screaming is "World Star, World." Yes,
Is it still a-
really
it
is.
really?
Actually.
That's surprising.
Oh yeah, it's super
Yeah.
duper. Especially right now. Dude.
I love
Like,
it.
Yeah,
the Karen videos are out of control.
Oh, they are.
It's
It's
so
crazy.
good.
stupid.
Oh my god.
Like-
So how about Star Wars?
Yeah,
guys?
thank you.
Yeah, Star Wars. What's
Dude,
up?
I watched a Star Wars movie this week. How about you guys? So I'm just gonna get this out of the way. For anybody who actually survived that intro,
Thank
there's
you.
gonna be a lot of negativity in this episode. If you came
Hold
to this
on.
episode expecting
may-
us to defend episode 2, you
I
came to the wrong place.
I will defend episode 2 for
I-
some things, and I will shit on it for others.
Oh,
I think-
I can get all of my praise out of here in like 10
Okay, do it.
seconds.
Go.
The fights were cool.
That's about
I'm
it.
actually done. I'm done.
I'm gonna defend this movie way more than I thought that I would before I watched it.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
Let me ask you, Jordan, because last week you were saying how you were confident you were going to shit all over this movie. How do you feel now that you watched it?
There are plenty of things to complain about. However, this
Oh, yeah, Will.
this movie has an incredible story, but it is marred by terrible acting and horrible writing decisions. If like a
Mm.
few, I think if a few major
Yes,
parts of the
yes.
movie were
Yeah.
altered or just altogether removed, then the movie would have been a smash success. The story is
They didn't
incredible.
need to get married.
Like
More than a
it's
few.
really really good. Yes, it is the most critical point.
No, it's not.
No, if they remade it, they should remake the prequels. No.
No.
Mm,
They should remake the sequels.
Yeah, they should
Yes.
remake the sequels. Yes, yes.
The actual story of the Senate and the Jedi and Sidious.
Dude,
Really like Sidious.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. The real Star Wars shit.
you know what's funny though? Like my problems
No,
are
my
not
problems.
with the love story
Really?
part of this movie.
Really?
Really?
Mine
Like,
are.
almost all of my problems are with the main plot in the back
No,
half
love
of
story
the movie.
pretty much is my biggest hate of this entire movie. Is all of that.
Yeah.
Like, and
Ditto.
for the record, the
Anakin's
love
way too
story
pushy.
shit goes on way too long, and it's a problem too.
Yes.
Especially because
So
the love
pushy.
story starts with Anakin being
God.
real pushy and Padme
Yup.
being like, "Step back, bro. I'm not feeling it. Stop it." And he doesn't. He doesn't, dude. He's like a rapist incarnate.
Because is he like
No, we
Is he
covered
like
this on the
18
last
we
episode.
covered.
It's been
You
10
should have.
years.
If you like, listen to the last episode.
Yeah, he's 19, I think, and she's 24.
Oh, so it's legal. So wait a minute.
Yeah, that's
I,
the same
I thought
age difference with
she
me and
was
my
way
fiance,
she
so.
was way
It was the casting.
older than
it was the
him,
casting.
It seemed like in
she
episode
she
1
didn't
now.
look 14.
It seemed like it.
That's
Yeah.
that's because she was way older than
She,
the
you know,
actor
you know,
that
Natalie
played
Portman is
young
a
Anakin.
very
She is.
accomplished person in
Yeah,
life.
she's
She
awesome.
went to Harvard and shit.
Yes, she is. She's
Yeah.
very smart.
God.
So, also, I love her in SNL with her rap. That
Yeah,
shit is like
it
the
is.
best
It
thing
is.
ever.
It
You
is.
should
I've heard it.
Oh,
repeat
the one
that
that
whenever
she
you
did with
can.
what's his name?
Andy
Andy
Samberg.
Samberg?
Yeah, I remember
Yes.
it. Yeah, it was good. She's badass.
Yeah, but my whole thing is like I immediately noticed that Natalie Portman changed the pitch of her voice for this movie
I didn't notice
to where
that.
it was a lot higher compared to in the first movie. I noticed that immediately.
That's a very weird thing to like nitpick, but yeah,
Yeah, I didn't.
that's cool.
It's not nitpicking. It's just I
Oh.
noticed it because like
I guess you're
I'm
not
telling
saying
you,
it's
if you,
good or
like,
bad.
get
You're
why-
just
like, the
saying
fir-
it's a thing.
it's just
Yeah, it is weird.
because it's just like okay, she got older and then her voice got higher, which I mean it's not crazy, I guess, but like in the first movie, she like was like very solemn, her voice was deeper, and like she was like acted way more like regal, like that we touched upon in the previous episode, and that's why she seemed a lot older than Anakin. But in
Yeah.
this one, it just seemed like her voice was a lot higher. It was like
And
to a
and
noticeable degree for me.
at one point in the movie, she says how she feels like she was too young for the role and not ready for it,
Yeah.
and this, that, and the other. I was like,
Mhm.
did you watch the first movie? She was clearly ready for it.
Oh yeah, like nobody would have
that's bad
questioned her,
writing.
like her getting that
That's
role
bad
as
writing.
queen. Yeah, 100%. She's like the first, like in the first movie, she was 100% sure of herself in all of her choices and all of her
And they
decisions.
were good
In the
choices.
second movie, she was like, yeah. In the second movie, it was like she was really wishy washy. She wasn't really sure of
So-
herself. Didn't have a lot of self confidence. And Anakin just swooped
Right,
in on her.
right.
And speaking of which, like I'm gonna roll this back because my issues with this movie start with the opening crawl. And it actually kind of segues right into what we're talking about because in the very end paragraph of the opening crawl, it says that she's the former queen of
They
Naboo,
they
but doesn't
explain
explain
it
what
briefly.
that
Like
means.
elected.
Yeah.
And like
They're elected queen.
no, I know that. They explain it way
Yeah.
later in the film, but like I was sitting there watching it with my wife, and like I didn't really think twice about that. I actually don't care why she's the former queen of Naboo, but she was sitting there watching it
Queen
like,
is a
why is she the
a
former queen? What the
terrible
fuck happened?
choice
Didn't
of
everybody love her
words
as
because
queen?
she's
Wasn't
not
she
really a
great as queen?
queen. Yeah, she's more of a she's
For
a president
right?
essentially.
She's a dictator.
I mean, it doesn't
Well-
really matter the word though. Like she could have been fucking literally anything, and just putting that she's now the former with no explanation whatsoever leaves you sitting there going
The
like,
crawls
"But
don't
why?"
have a lot of room to add the who's and the what's and the why. They shouldn't have even said it. They should.
Well, they
I mean, they
actually
could have
should
added
have
one more
They should have
sentence.
redacted.
Did you, bro? Do you
Oh, the
remember the
crawl.
crawl for episode 6? That crawl is long as
Well,
shit.
I'm just saying
dude.
they could have redacted it. They could have said former, or they could have said now senator instead of former queen. Now Senator Amidala, Padme Amidala. You know, they could have just skipped that.
Well, it
Or,
does say
like-
Senator
But they could have just
Amidala.
said
It
the
tells you
now
Senator
senator.
Amidala.
Like she upgraded. Like did I?
It-
You know?
no,
they
it's not.
downgraded her to
Is a
senator.
senator an upgrade from a queen? though? I don't know about
Galactic
that.
senator is. It's a
She took
galactic.
Palpatine's
Yeah, I was gonna say,
position.
like, generally speaking, definitely not.
If I rule my own planet, bro, that is a downgrade.
And he was still Supreme Chancellor 10 years later, which was impressive.
Well, he's a Sith.
Yeah,
He's
now
a Sith.
not only is he still
He's
Supreme
Supreme
Chancellor,
Emperor.
but Homeboy got a lot more
They
power now.
downgraded him to emperor.
Yeah,
Did I
the
say
moves and
downgrade?
machinations of
I mean
that
upgrade.
man.
We'll get to that though. Like, hold on. Like, I still have issues with this opening crawl.
Yeah,
I'm
get
not
to it,
done
get
yet.
to it.
So, like, at the beginning of the opening crawl, it says several thousand solar systems declared
Yeah.
their intentions to leave the Republic. Just consider that for a second. Several thousand
Thousand.
solar systems,
Mhm.
not just planets, solar systems. All because of Count
It's a-
Dooku, one guy? How does he have time? Even in 10 years, that's an unbelievable amount of talking he would have to do.
He's got the charisma of Bill Clinton. That's all I gotta say.
Dude,
about that.
forget
Nice.
about charisma. How do you get to that many planets, get in with the
I
leadership,
don't think it
and
was
convince them all to
Zoom.
just
You hold
dip?
a meeting, a large
No,
meeting.
he had a vid conference. Yep, he had
He
a Zoom
zoomed him, yeah.
conference.
Obviously.
His charisma just oozed throughout the
Or he
hologram, and they was just down
zapped
from it
one
from
guy
jump.
and just
and it then goes on to say that it's made it difficult for the limited number of Jedi. First of all, we see how many Jedi there are
Yeah,
in this
but
movie, and it's
at
fucking
the end of the movie,
ridiculous.
there's considerably
second
less.
of all-
they got murdered out there in Geonosis.
I mean, we find out in the third one that they didn't really, but as far as we know in this
Yeah.
movie, you're right. But more importantly, like it says like the limited number of Jedi. We see how many there are. They're not that limited. There's certainly more than one guy, and they can't out-talk Dooku. No, but there's more than one.
Yeah,
If you even have two dudes, if you can't out-talk Dooku to thousands of solar
All of
systems, you guys
this
suck
whole
at your
plan
job.
do you know how charismatic Bill Clinton
this whole
is?
plan is
Who's talking about Bill Clinton?
you guys got to realize this whole plan, the Sith plan, isn't just Plagueis's plan. This shit has been planned for hundreds, if not thousands, of years back through the rule of two of Sith to gain control. This master plan has been in the shadows. If you realize that Plagueis was the head, Higo Damask was the head of the banking clan of like the richest. Like these motherfuckers are like it was a really good way for George Lucas to kind of take real life conspiracy theories about like the Illuminati and put it as Sith, put it as the rich are in the shadows controlling. You know what I mean? Like it's really, if you look at it from a perspective of a real life adaptation, it's like making the argument that the billionaires of the world are conspiring, the Bilderberger group are conspiring and changing the world's fate at these meetings yearly. Like that's the same argument as Higo Damask and the banking clans and having the Caminos make a clone army and orchestrating this huge fucking conspiracy, because that's what it is, to change the fate of the galaxy. I rest my case.
Bro, don't even get me
So-
started on the clone army yet. Like,
get
I
me
have
started.
a whole thing with that.
Get me started, baby.
But
Start my engine.
before, not yet. We will get there. But I, to your point, I will say that I loved that scene where Palpatine is sitting down with like Yoda and I think it's Mace Windu and them. and he asks Yoda something to the effect of like if the Sith are going to be a problem or whatever, and Yoda's saying how the veil of the dark side is clouding their vision. And like that Palpatine is the problem, so for him to now have that straight out of Yoda's mouth is unbelievably valuable and just shows like how deep in there and how calculated he is.
Mace Windu also,
Like he's sitting right in front of him and telling him the problems that
Mace Windu also mentions this when they officially confirm that there's a Sith in the Senate. Mace Windu, Obi-Wan says
they
that
don't
there's a
officially
Sith
confirm
running
it,
the
but
Senate, and then obviously they just assume that he's right because they can sense it. But Mace Windu, towards the beginning of the
no,
film,
that's
because
the
there
exact
was
opposite of what
that's
actually
right.
happened.
The scene where Jar Jar,
No, I know what you're
gives
talking about,
Palpatine
but like
power.
they're like but like the scene that you're talking about when Obi-Wan tells them that Darth Tyrannus told him that there was a Sith running the Senate and all that, Yoda's like, he's a liar, he's a fucking Sith, and we can't trust what he says, and this, that, and the other. And Mace Windu's like, well, maybe we should keep an eye on it anyway. And Yoda's like, yeah, you're right about that. But like they don't concede the point in any way, shape, or form.
They should have accepted some
after
of that
Jar
as truth.
Jar
That was
actually
foolish.
like gives Palpatine the power, he puts that motion on the table for people to vote on, which we'll get to. But on that scene, Mace Windu says
Is Jar Jar the
that
Sith?
maybe we should tell them that we've lost touch with the Force, or we're having problems using the Force.
Right. And Yoda says no, that'll make more people suspicious, and we'll have more enemies. They'll
He's
think us
totally
weak.
right. Yeah, they're
That's
floundering.
what essentially Yoda said.
Which he's right
Yeah,
about.
I think it's a good move.
Which
Yeah, they've been had the moment that clone army showed up. Yoda realized, and all the other Jedi Masters realized, we are being manipulated. Like they had to have known how fucked they were, because there's this clone army and we're fighting this war, but there's got to be a puppet master, because obviously what Palpatine did was so genius. Is I'm gonna create a war, and just like any good person, I'm gonna fucking sell or like the banking clan was selling was loaning money for munitions to both sides, and supplying, and the companies that were building all the droids were the same companies that were like building a lot of the ships for the Republic. It's just crazy how with war in general you see that a lot, and with industry where, like, I think before we entered the war in World War II, I'm pretty sure we were selling munitions to the Nazis and the UK. Pretty sure. Could be wrong. Don't quote me on that, but I think that
I would be surprised
Maybe
about
not
that.
when the war was formally ratified, but I mean, we are an arms dealer. That's we sell munitions to the rest of the world, so it wouldn't be surprising. But yeah, so I have the plot of this movie. I hold it in high regard, mostly because I
think the
because
conspiracy
I don't know why after watching
no,
it.
no, the conspiracy laid out
it's
in the movie
fantastic.
was genius, and to see Palpatine's plan is it's orchestrated with magnificence. It was, but the movie itself is kind of shitty. But if you think of it from Jordan, what he's saying from the
Yes.
aspect of how well orchestrated that fucking plot
Like-
was on Palpatine's side, the shit is fucking genius.
Yeah, but it's written like somebody who has
It's
this
all
great
execution.
idea
It's
in their
all
head, but
execution.
doesn't know how to say
Right,
it.
right.
Yep, doesn't know
It's
how to
all
play
execution.
Elon Musk in it. Yeah.
Well, except Elon Musk still gets it
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Like George Lucas did not nail
not
this.
nailed it. No.
But
not
even
even
a
so
little bit.
I don't think, going back to the opening crawl, excuse me, you mentioned that you don't think that Count Dooku could have positioned those thousands of star systems. The key moment, key phrase there, it's a separatist.
It just seems
movement.
unlikely.
He didn't have to talk to everybody to get them to join. They had allies of their own. They had, connections of their own. So, it's like a domino. It's a domino effect.
Yeah,
they were already unhappy. They were
but dude, like
in 12 years.
I understand that, but like in 10 years he got thousands of solar systems, not even 1,000 planets, multiple planets within a solar system, thousands of them.
I mean, don't confuse the vastness of what they're talking about and make that more complicated, because yes, it's thousands of star systems and maybe there's 1 or 2 planets that can house intelligent life to be useful, or many of them probably are just outposts or something stupid, but or maybe one civilization owns multiple star systems. There's many ways that you can justify this.
Dude, I can't even deal with the way that
You
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 just
infer that Dooku flew to every single one and convinced them. That is obviously not true.
He's just trying to
I'm
figure
not
out a
saying that he
way that
did.
this
I'm
is
saying no matter
accomplished.
what their explanation is, it sucks.
Yeah.
It's not unreasonable at all.
It's not
No,
unreasonable.
it's not unreasonable.
What, dude? Look at it this
It's
way.
not one
This
guy,
would
it's a
be like
movement.
if one guy in 10 years got every country on Earth to come
It's very
together
different
under
than
one
that.
banner. It's never gonna happen. And
It's
then
very different from what you just
he
described.
does
It's
that
very different.
thousands
It
of
is.
times.
You want to hear something more ridiculous?
The separatist movement. Go ahead.
I can't wait to hear this.
So when Sir Christopher
ahead.
Lee, as an actor in Star Wars, said to Obi-Wan, "It's clear my
That was
Jedi powers
off-putting.
are stronger than yours."
Yeah, that was.
Did you just not want to slap him? That was horrible.
It's clear my.
I mean, he wasn't wrong though. He fucked Obi-Wan up, dude.
No, but like to say your Jedi
Like, that was a
Jedi
sad
powers,
display.
he couldn't say my strength in the Force. Like he had to say Jedi powers, and they got away with it. Like they took that take and said, "Yeah, we're keeping it."
All right. I'm just gonna roll into this now because we're talking about it. What did Dooku do, man? Because like we know that he's a dark Jedi now, but like when Obi-Wan, when he walks in
Shall
on
I answer
Obi-Wan,
you?
his interaction with Obi-Wan is in
Okay.
a second. His interaction with Obi-Wan is not one of like, I'm dealing with a Sith. He's like dealing with somebody he just doesn't fucking like in the office. And and like but he's adamant. He's like, I'll never join you, Dooku. You can go suck a dick. Like it's never gonna happen. And I'm like, what the fuck did Dooku do?
Well, let me tell
Because
you,
like,
because you don't know. So
okay, yeah,
Dooku
go
left
ahead.
the Jedi Order because he didn't agree with a lot of the things the Jedi were doing, also Dooku, he's a count on his own planet. He's like comes from wealth. He comes from like immense wealth. So he's one of the rare occasions where he was taken from his family and like went back. You know what I'm saying? Like he is a huge inheritance as a very wealthy person. And he left the order and he seeked out apparently he was mad at the about the death of Qui-Gon Jinn, and he seeked out well, he was basically, I think he seeked out the Palpatine and was basically like, yeah man, I'm really upset, Qui-Gon died, and Palpatine essentially was like, you want revenge on the person that killed him? And he was like, no, and he didn't like, and that's kind of how he joined the Sith. But his thing with Obi-Wan,
Wait,
yeah,
what? He told Palpatine to go fuck himself, and then he joined him
well, like
anyway.
essentially he blamed Qui-Gon's death on the way the Jedi Order handles shit, you know, and the way they do their things. I'm not quoting it exactly. I'm paraphrasing heavily right now. But with
Sure.
with Dooku, he basically was like, I can be better than the Jedi, because when you leave the Jedi Order, you don't lose your powers in the Force. You're just as strong as you ever were. Like, you don't just get
They just strip
yeah,
that
like
shit away.
It's
Too
like
bad,
revoking your membership
right,
card.
they can't take your J card. So anyways, so he was Qui-Gon's master. He was Yoda's apprentice. You gotta imagine how strong he
Bro,
is.
can we talk about that for a second? Like, what a small galaxy we're
Yeah,
dealing with
really.
here. Like, we found out that Dooku or Yoda was Dooku's master. Dooku was Qui-Gon's master. Qui-Gon's
I don't think
Obi-Wan's
that's a
master. Obi-Wan's
coincidence. I
Anakin's
mean,
master. And they're
they're
just
some of the
all
most
in one
influential
room.
and powerful Jedi. So the story is about the most influential and powerful Jedi. So I don't think that's unreasonable.
Jordan, would you stop it?
But like,
Would you
no,
stop it?
no, I'm not agreeing with that.
I
at
don't
all,
want to
because, like,
argue
that's what I mean,
semantics
like,
of this
there's
shit.
there's enough Jedi that they shouldn't have the
I
same,
mean,
like,
would it not make sense
basically
that
mastery
Yoda's
line
Padawan goes to do
for
something
all the
great?
Jedis. And
Even if it is the dark side, it's
I wasn't done.
yeah,
I wasn't done talking about
it
Dooku.
it
Anyways,
was
I got more to say.
it
Oh,
just
so
Yeah,
makes
sorry.
yeah.
it just
Apology
makes sense that
accepted.
he
I'm
does
waiting.
stuff great, but like it doesn't make sense that he would train Qui-Gon Jinn,
oh
who
yeah,
would in turn train Obi-Wan. Like that's way too many coincidences within the story. Is what
Well,
he's
we'll
saying.
think about it this way. Remember when he
Yes.
said, "I'll never join you," and he's like, "Qui-Gon would have," and he said, "No, he wouldn't," or something like that. He was like, "He would never join you." He's like, "Well, yeah, I think he would."
he was like a little kid. Like,
Yeah,
no, he
yeah.
wouldn't,
Well,
man. My Qui-Gon was so
Qui-Gon
good.
wouldn't join him, but Qui-Gon definitely didn't agree with the way things went down in the Jedi Council. And when I said that with the Order earlier with Dooku, what I meant was the Jedi Council. Dooku was mad at the passiveness of the Jedi Council. Anyways, with Dooku, I mean this guy, he had a major influence from him being a count. Remember when I said he was rich? Well, he knows if he's this rich, that means he's in league with other rich people, i.e. the banking clan, i.e. Darth Plagueis, Higo Damask, you know what I mean? Those people. So he has huge influence because if you are a member of the banking clan and or know other rich people, you all go to the same places. You all, go to the same country clubs essentially and talk and know each other. You have a reach. You have reach to other things. You're the one people come, regular assholes come to borrow money from, or when a senator needs a law passed, or when you need a law passed, you go bribe a senator, right? I mean, it's not hard to think that Dooku could reach that far. I mean, literally, I think Jordan's right. He wasn't fucking traveling. Imagine him in that stupid speeder bike going from planet to planet. but he wasn't doing that. He obviously has reach, and you got to think of the background conspiracy taking
Yeah,
hundreds
but
of
like,
years to develop,
I
slow.
no, I understand that, but like, there was no separatist movement
no,
in the
they were.
first movie. So that
Yeah,
means in 10 years they started a
the
movement
trade
that
federation, the trade federation was essentially the beginning of that. The dispute with Naboo with the trade
okay,
federation.
but that doesn't change
The
anything. Like, okay, so that's the beginning
Viceroy
of that. That's still
Gunray
10
lives all the
years.
way up until Revenge of the Sith when Anakin kills him.
That's true, but
Yeah,
we're
you're
not there
welcome.
yet. My point is, like, even if that's the beginning of the separatist movement, that's 10 years. Let's say 11. We'll include the entire first movie. That's 11 years.
Because the
11
human
years, he got
lifespan,
thousands of solar systems on. Like, I don't care what your explanation is. You can explain that away as, like, oh, he has power and influence and he knows all these people.
the
But,
internet.
like, to get 1,000 solar systems on your side in 10 years is a unbelievable feat.
Well, with
I
our
don't care
technology,
who
we
you
couldn't
are.
travel to another fucking solar system in 10 years, So I understand what you're saying. Space is ever expanding
It seems vaster than it really is.
but
Dude, I'm not even talking about I'm not even talking about like traveling anywhere. Like, even if you bring it back down to earth, getting 1,000 companies to agree on something, getting 1,000 cities to agree on something, getting
Sith,
1,000
Sith,
countries,
Sith, Sith are
like,
more
it just
persuasive than
doesn't.
Jedi in the fact that they're violent and they bribe
I
well.
don't think
You know
it's
what I'm saying?
I don't think it's
They
any
get
And
of
that's
that.
all fine.
ends to means.
I don't think it's any of that. I just think that people were already in the first movie, people were already massively upset with Senate's inability to be to decide on
decide
things
on
and to be
things, yeah.
leaders. And the Senate has been around.
You can reflect that on our Senate. Our Senate is embarrassing, right?
The Senate
I mean, am I wrong? Our Senate
the
doesn't do
Senate has been
nothing.
around in Star Wars. That Senate had been around for like 1,000 years, right? So I don't
Or
think the
more.
separatist movement started
Could be
10 years
thousands of
before
years.
this movie. I think that there had been murmurs, there have been discourse being sown over hundreds of years. People were already upset. And
Yeah,
the
this probably is
second
conspiracy. Like I said, the rule of
the second that the second these star systems had something significant to latch onto besides the actual Galactic Republic, then they took that chance and those dominoes fell. I think that's Like I kind of see that in our own history, our own world's history. Things change rapidly.
You do a lot
You
of Star Wars.
You definitely
You
do.
definitely don't, dude. Like, I
You
think you're
definitely do.
vastly underplaying the tremendous size of what they're stating here. Like, you're vastly underplaying it.
I don't
No, I
know.
don't know.
Because,
I
like,
agree with Jordan. I'm taking
because
Jordan's side. I'm taking Jordan's side on this. Hard
I
Jordan's
know you
It's
side.
an
are, but
incredible feat,
I'm
but
just
it's not
I'm
an
just saying,
impossible.
like,
It's not an impossible feat. It is incredible.
It's also a movie, man, and George Lucas wrote it. I mean, it's not perfect. Just
yeah,
pretend
well, there's
pretend
your
it was
problem.
just
Yeah.
pretend it was less. Just in your mind, it's less, and then there.
No,
Fix it.
that's the whole point. Is like he can't pretend it's less because they're telling you that it's such a huge amount. Like literally, that caught my eye as well. Like thousands of maybe thousands of planets. Yeah, I could deal with that. Thousands of solar systems.
It's
That's like
retarded, I know.
exponentially
But
more than what
you
you're
would have
thinking.
to for these movies to work. You would have to. I mean, like the human lifespan is only so long. I mean, how are you gonna have even a movie if the shit? Yeah, they tried, but then
I
they
get
died
it.
of old
I
age,
get
and
it.
fucking Star
But
Wars never
but if
happened. The end.
but if that's the case, if that's what you're saying and that's the case, like if they need to ground it more realistic, why would they say thousands of solar systems? I wouldn't have gone off the rails if it was like
Because you
thousands
would
of
need that.
planets.
The
You would
the
need
bigger
thousands of solar
problem
systems to
isn't at the end of the day, the problem is not that they said several thousand solar systems. Like that's crazy, but like that's not the problem. The problem is that they're saying it's happening under the leadership of one guy. That's the problem.
Well, Darth
It's
Sidious is
not that they got
Everything
definitely
has a figurehead.
orchestrating it.
yeah, but Sidious doesn't do a whole lot directly. He
No,
has a
he
whole bunch
doesn't.
of people that he
You're right.
controls that do shit for him.
And we
And
don't
that
know how
makes
many
perfect sense.
we don't know how many thousands of agents he really has. You can't
No,
say
we
that
don't,
Duke you can't say that Dooku
we
did it
know
all. You can't say that.
well, that's my problem though. Like we know that Sidious operates that way because we see him do it. All we know about this is that they told us that Dooku leads this giant, unbelievably giant movement
No, they don't. They don't
by
tell that. They
himself.
just say he
Well, you
leads
saw
it.
that meeting. Yeah, you remember
This separatist
that?
movement under the
Yeah.
leadership of Count Dooku,
Yeah, and
not Count
you
Dooku
saw that.
and such.
That's
Count Dooku,
fine.
You
one
saw
guy.
you saw the 6 guys in that meeting. You saw the people, the other conspirators when in Geonosis. You saw the people involved. You saw the Geonosian guy. You saw the fucking weird robot thing. You saw the fucking Viceroy Gunray. You saw fucking Dooku and Obi-Wan floating in his prison.
Yeah, but we don't know
Boom.
anything about that. Like,
Wow.
as far as we know within the context of the movie, those are just several planets that Dooku has
I mean, I think
persuaded over
you're.
to his side.
I think you're
No,
No,
we don't
but
know
oversimplifying
anything
it.
about
those aren't planted. Those people control things. Those are like figureheads to corporation. Have you ever heard of Zerka Corporation? They're like older than the Galactic Senate. Like there's tons of things in Star Wars that go farther back than the Galactic Senate does. You know what I'm saying? Like there's
No, and I mean that's all fine. Like you can infer this, that, and the other. You can, and you, Matt. I'm sure you could tell me this, that, and the other from the EU and this and that. But what I'm talking about is the same shit that I was arguing about in the first uh or last episode.
I wasn't a part of that one, man.
And
So
I know, but
I
like,
couldn't have argued a point to that.
but
Jordan was by
I'm
himself.
gonna tell.
Jordan was
I'm
all
I'm
alone.
gonna tell you. Like the problem is, this is the information that we're presented. And as
Right.
somebody who's not reading all these books or doing this or doing that, if I go off of just what is presented to me in this movie, that's the only conclusion I can come to because I don't have any other information
Well,
about who the Geonosians even are,
I think
much
the
less
only
the
way to
robots and their
I agree. Well,
interplay with the Viceroy and
that's
all
a
of
fair
this.
point. But if you're gonna overanalyze it all, like you can't just overanalyze a bad movie because you're just gonna come back to it being a bad movie. Every time you're gonna be like, this
Because it
shit
is
was
a bad
because it
movie.
is, and I can't. I'm not gonna defend that. That I'm not gonna tell you and like lie to your face and say it's good. I mean, it's in some ways it's good, but in a lot of ways it's seriously flawed, and
No.
in more ways it's bad than it is good. I agree with that.
This it's just an entirely bad movie with some cool Star Wars shit in it.
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
yes. That's that. We can all 4 of us will definitely agree. Definitely
I don't
agree
know.
on that.
Jordan, you like to argue with me.
I
Are you
think
going
I
to
do love to
disagree with
argue
that?
with you, but I think that it is. I think that I think that
do love to argue it.
the
I
movie
enjoy it as well.
is definitely more bad than it is good. I will agree with that definitely.
Good. So we can put our swords in the table in the center, and we can. The Clone Wars sucks. Attack of the Clones sucks.
Speaking of swords, first first of all, Anakin just keeps busting his lightsaber throughout this entire
He's
fucking
like,
movie.
Obi-Wan's not again. Obi-Wan's gonna kill me.
Like what? What the fuck? Why was
he's
this the recurring joke that he went to go with?
Because he's a reckless. Because Anakin is always known for like reckless. And remember in the beginning when he just jumps out of the speeder, that was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
shit.
but this is the same dude that in this same movie is talking about how he thinks he's a better swordsman than Yoda.
The most
And
Well,
yet he can't even hold
that
on
he's
to
a
it.
better that he's a
in
better
his-
Jedi
in his prime-
than Obi-Wan as
Well,
well.
well, he's obviously arrogant as shit, but in his prime, before he got Darth Vader, he was a better swordsman than most Jedi. I'm not gonna say he was better than Yoda, but there's 7 forms of lightsaber combat, and they all like all the major guys like Mace Windu and Obi-Wan, they all and Yoda, they all practice a vastly different form of combat. Yoda practices a form where it's mostly acrobatics because of his size, just so he can be
Oh.
relevant. That's why he couldn't. He There's a reason why in the Revenge of the Sith, Palpatine goes to force fighting because he couldn't really keep up with Yoda fucking dancing around him with that thing. Dooku, remember when Dooku raped Obi-Wan in Attack of the Clones because Obi-Wan can fight well against Grievous, he can fight well against Maul, and he can fight well against Anakin, but he cannot hold a candle to Dooku because Dooku is a true swordsman. But Anakin's form 5 is more aggressive than and can fuck, and you saw him kill Dooku in Revenge of the Sith, and he
I also
He
saw
got
him
wrecked
get
in this
straight
one. I forgot he
fucked up
lost
in
his
this
arm.
movie.
because he's a
He got wrecked.
he's
Dude,
a Padawan.
I forgot
He's a
that he
Padawan.
lost his hand in this movie.
I forgot. I
didn't.
definitely
I'll
forget
never
that.
forget that shit. But did you
I
know?
definitely forgot it.
I'm not done talking about lightsaber combat because I have this Jedi like handbook. I have the Jedi handbook, and it talks about all 7 forms and which Jedi use them, and the specifics of why they use them and why they like them and whatnot. And the fucking dismembering your opponent is like the Jedi's way. Instead of killing, it's prefer. There's
That's
a
why they always
special.
cut off the hands.
It's it's not only disarming as in just taking their weapon away, it's disarming. It's like you you can't fight back. Like I will delimb you. So to delimb another Jedi in like a death combat you always see that. You saw Darth Vader do that to Luke as like it's kind of like a fuck you. It's kind of like the goal is to chop their hand off. Right? So they can't fight. Like you chop their hand off and break their lightsaber, you've won. And remember when Anakin, and I'm gonna skip ahead a movie, but when Anakin does it to Dooku, he did not have to kill him. He chopped off both of his arms and he won. He was disarmed and he won. That was the true manipulation of Palpatine going, do it. Kill him now. He did not have to kill him. That was some straight evil shit to
Where
do
he
that.
straight changed his voice out of nowhere. Like if
Yeah,
I was
do it.
Anakin, I was like, where
Do
did
it.
You
where
lost
did that
him.
octave come from? Like what's
Right,
going on right here?
Like that was some, and then you knew Dooku was like, "Oh man, I've been betrayed by my own master." Right there, like that
He just
look in his
straight up
face. Remember that look in his face before he
Yeah,
gets
he just
murdered?
closed his eyes. Just
I mean,
like,
Anakin
Yeah,
was no.
yeah.
He was no stranger to some evil shit in this movie. He took out.
Oh,
Well,
he
I
kills.
mean-
Oh my god,
And
dude!
he's
no
We'll
stranger
get
to
to that, dude.
he-
I got some woof.
So
Woof.
so
But
him,
before we even touch on that, dude, can we all just agree how much of a fucking straight G Yoda is in this movie?
yeah, Yoda is a G.
Like,
Yoda catches
he
lightning,
rolled-
and
Bro,
throws it back.
he just palms that shit and starts talking trash.
That's a
to him.
that's a force move to create a barrier in your hand. They can block
It
blaster
is,
bolt.
but it's
remember,
like
Darth Vader does
it's an
it to Han.
extremely rare move that's like super hard to do.
Yes.
though.
Oh,
Like,
Darth Vader does it to Han Solo's
Yeah.
blaster. Yeah.
Yeah, because Vader's got like the highest midichlorian count of any Jedi ever, dude.
Well,
Like
well,
he's
right.
a super badass.
that's
Well, no. Darth Vader shit. Because when you lose a limb, apparently you lose your midichlorian count in those limbs. So when he was torsoed by Obi-Wan, he lost a lot of his force power as
What?
well, according to Jedi. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
No shit. No shit. Right? Because there's midichlorian.
I don't like this at all.
I was watching a YouTube video the other day about midichlorian counts. This is like 2 days ago. And apparently there's statistics on their midichlorian count like Anakin before Attack of the Clones midichlorian count is higher than after because he lost a hand, and it gets worse as he gets delimbed. And Luke lost some when he lost his hand, and so on and so forth. And technically, they didn't talk about Dooku, but I imagine briefly before he died, Dooku lost
He had
some.
3.
That's
Yeah, he went down.
I will point out though that even though Vader lost a hand, he got chopped in. Like he didn't get cut in half, but he got his legs cut off.
So
I think he
Dooku
lost his other hand.
Dooku was
But
toying
even
with
after
Obi-Wan
all,
because he could have killed him. Remember
but
when he
even
hits him in the arm and hits him in the leg? He could have like sliced him in
yeah,
half. Why didn't he kill him?
but even after all of that shit, like in the which I'm not sure if they're still canon, but when I read them, they were in the canon comics. They talk about how Vader like lost power to his suit, and he just starts moving with the power of the Force
Yeah,
after
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
he's such a fucking badass
Also, but
that
I
he
think
just uses the Force to walk.
his force powers are strengthened by his rage heavily. Like the dark side of the force, the like that pain when I think we talked about this before, but when a Sith is enraged by pain, their powers almost double or triple depending on
it's like
how
anime.
enraged they are. Like to well, yeah, like anything. Like, have you remember when you were like fighting with your siblings growing up? Not you, Dean, because you're an only child, but when fighting
I'm
with
not
you,
an only child.
you're not.
No, I have 2 siblings.
Oh, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm sorry, I misspoke. I apologize. So remember when you used to kick your siblings' asses when they like broke something of yours because, you know, rage.
Well, I mean, they're both older than me, so they kicked
So
my
when they
ass for
kicked you,
trying. But
right,
yeah,
right,
I
right.
do.
But remember that if you picked up a weapon and they were kind of scared because oh no, he's mad, and then they had to like calm you down
Mhm.
before they could kick your ass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's real. Rage adds strength. It just also adds unpredictability, and also it adds like if you're gonna be raging out on a motherfucker, you're not as precise. So someone can, if they're smart, they can use your rage against you. That's the downfall to fighting when you're angry. But it does add strength, like actual power, you know? Like, you're gonna hit harder when you're mad than when you're not mad. Fact, you know?
You know who else is a fucking badass in this movie though?
Mace
Boba
Windu.
Fett.
Boba Fett?
Boba Fett, dude. Boba Fett.
When he's like shooting Obi-Wan with so Obi-Wan can take direct hits with a fucking
Yeah,
starfighter? What
dude.
the
Yeah.
Boba's just sniping this dude
And
on the ground on his back.
not only can Obi-Wan take multiple direct hits from a starfighter, he can take a rocket blowing up a direct hit
Yeah,
rocket.
Yeah, the fucking
yeah.
back rocket and shit.
And he can do Mortal Kombat moves, but not use the Force to win. Like, why wasn't he using the Force that whole time? Like, he could have just picked Jango Fett up and threw him off the fucking ledge, and he could have like done some mean shit if he wanted to.
Yeah, dude. I was watching that scene like Obi-Wan is really lucky that Boba missed.
That jump kick though, when he
Oh
jumps
my
up in the
god.
air and kicks him,
That's so
it was
ridiculous.
awesome. It was like when you're playing Mortal Kombat and you do that move, it was just like that. Like they were.
Dude,
Yeah.
it was like watching the Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon do that flash move all over again. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
No, but force speed is a thing, is it not?
But
Oh, there.
it
Yes,
it
there
is
is.
apparently a thing, but like the only canon reference to it is that one scene
That's
in
not
But
episode
true.
but
1.
it was good. It was
That's
good
not
though.
true. They
Yeah, I believe
actually
that's not
list
true.
it in the link you had from the other episode. It actually lists multiple instances of canon instances.
Mm-hmm.
Does
And
it?
you got to think about how
Yes.
their force jump, like how they can just like jump so high and like
So
do all those flip
it's just
moves.
weird that they just randomly decide to use it. It's like, this seems like a good time to use this
Well,
instead
they
of like
had to
using
get
it
out of
all
there.
the time.
Well, I imagine it drains you. Like that's a pretty, tough move. I imagine to
Even
like
even if it
guess.
drains you,
be
dude,
that
like you know how
fast.
unbelievably useful that would have been in a
And
whole bunch of
and and
Just
situations in
and
this
just
and
in
universe.
fights in
always,
general. Like
yeah.
in fighting Darth Maul, it's like he like does that slow move where he does the double lightsaber, like while he's doing that force
Like
light
why
and
why
just
did
cutting him in
Qui-Gon
half.
get why did Qui-Gon fall for getting his nose broke and then like stabbed in the chest? Like what the
We
fuck was
don't
that?
know. We don't.
Like,
No, we really shouldn't
well,
get
actually,
back into this. Like this is like a
I
really
do know
It's
why,
a
and
really sore spot for me.
it goes back into lightsaber forms. it goes back into lightsaber forms, but it's still a bullshit excuse because that's a stupid
Yeah.
move.
Yes. Whatever you have to say about it, it's
Like,
not a good.
I'm not
it's
I'm not
really
defending
bad.
it. I'm absolutely not
No,
defending that.
no, like I've like wholeheartedly agree. Like the writers wrote themselves into a corner with that whole scene. Like the fight scene was cool as shit. The
It
ending
was,
was
yeah.
terrible. The ending
Well,
was
Obi-Wan taking
bad.
him out was cool. Obi-Wan taking him out was really fucking bad.
But
I
it was
like that Obi-Wan
stupid
got
how
that
he took
kill.
him out. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
the way that he took him out was really stupid.
Like
though.
they could have done it a whole bunch of different ways, and that's how they
Maul
decided to do
under
it.
no, but Obi-Wan at that point didn't train in Form 3 yet. That fight made him start training in Sorasu Form 3 because he felt like Qui-Gon's weakness was the lack of defense. So he goes into the ultimate defense. Actually, Obi-Wan, I mean, you watched the video. Obi-Wan becomes the master at that fucking form. But
Yeah.
he, Obi-Wan would not have beaten Maul in any type of sword play, like
Straight
by
up,
no
just one
means.
on one. Yeah,
No, he would have died as well. So I think what happened was Maul underestimated him and is thinking, "Oh,
yeah.
I just killed
We
your master.
all
You're a
agreed about
bitch."
that.
And then
Yeah.
Obi-Wan jumps up, grabs Qui-Gon's lightsaber, and just gives him the old rope-a-dope straight up.
You know what? You know what really
Rope-a-dope is an
happened?
understatement for that. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
We
it
need
is.
another
But
term.
it's a good term though. I like saying it.
Yeah.
I can explain this. What really happened is that Darth Maul had not yet learned the power of the high ground, and so
And
he wasn't ready.
Obi-Wan is actually the best in the universe because of the high ground ability.
He mastered the ability of the high ground.
And he's
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
That's the only. Hey, I mean, if you got it, you got it.
Straight up. I have the high ground.
I have the high ground, Anakin. You've lost. And Anakin's like, "You underestimate my power," and he's like, "You underestimate the high ground."
Then he becomes a
You
rotisserie
haven't seen
chicken.
force powers like
He's
this.
like,
He
have
becomes a
you ever heard
rotisserie
of?
chicken in 3 seconds.
I'm just saying this: slap chop.
So good.
Zing, got him.
You know what I noticed in this movie though? I don't know if you can answer this for me, Matt, but like what the
I
fuck
will
happened to
try.
Yaddle?
Oh, I know, right? Yaddle, she, I don't know, right? I mean, what the fuck was that all
Like
about? What was her
like
deal? What
she's
was
just
her
in the
deal?
background in episode 1 and then she's just gone now.
Because she probably didn't get received well, and it's stupid. Anyways,
She didn't sell enough toys.
yeah,
Bro,
zero.
anything that gives us any kind of clue into Yoda's species, I'm super
And
interested in.
that's the only other clue because no one knows. Like Yoda is so
Well, until
mysterious.
Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then that's the coolest thing about the Mandalorian. That I mean, is that whole. I can't wait to see what the fuck that is. Is it a clone? What the fuck is going? We know that they were cloning shit. We
Yeah.
know
That's
that.
true. That's
Didn't they
true. As
say like it's
stupid
like
as
a
it was, we
baby?
do know that.
Is it like
Yeah.
a baby, but it's like 50 years old already or some crap?
Right, right. Yeah.
And he's got mad force powers too.
Of course he does. Because he's baby Yoda. He's cute as shit.
There was one member of the Jedi Council that was this weird gray-haired snake thing. I'm trying to find it because it was in the background when they were talking, and it freaked me out. I was looking for Yaddle, and I was like, "What is this thing here?"
I think their seats on the council are set though, right, Matt? Like they don't just sit wherever they
Um,
want. They have like specific
they
seating.
have chairs, and there's a video on YouTube about the comfort levels of each chair. And
Wait,
it
what?
is-
Of
dude,
course,
it is crazy.
Fuck,
and
dude,
hold
come
on, I'll
on.
put. I don't know because some of them seem outright uncomfortable, and it's rated from worst to best. And I'm gonna post it now.
Oh my god, the dude's name that I was
You're gonna rate the chairs from worst to best in comfortability? I swear to God, if you do that, I hate your guts and I'm leaving.
Dude, I love Star
no,
Wars
no, no,
fans
no.
so much.
No, yeah, no. I'm gonna post the video. I'm gonna find it. I don't even know how I
Fuck.
stumbled. I was like deep.
What
I was
is
like deep in the
every
rabbit hole.
Jedi What is every Jedi Master sleep number on their
What?
chair?
That literally popped in my head. Yeah. I hate everything. The Jedi
Oh my
the
God,
Jedi
dude.
It's like
chiropractor, he's the one who chose the chairs.
Jedi Master chairs ranked or something.
Oh, speaking of Yoda's Speaking of Yoda's race and everything, dude, CG Yoda looks really bad in this movie.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think all the CG
Yeah,
looks
it
bad.
is, but
Weren't
Well, I was gonna segue into how much I hate the
all
CG in
weren't
this
all of
movie,
the
but yeah,
clones
you're right.
CG?
remember when we were
The pear is CG. Why
Oh,
is
yeah,
the
you're
pear
right.
CG, man? You couldn't get a real pear.
because of the force.
You couldn't
Yeah.
float. You couldn't tie
That's
some.
not an excuse.
That
dude.
really
You
isn't.
can use a
It would-
practical effect
yeah,
on a
it
real
would look
pear.
way better with like
You're welcome.
fly wire on that crap, and it would look way better.
These aren't even the seats that we see in this movie, though, are they?
Maybe not in this movie, but
Yeah.
That's in
yeah, he's
episode
some
1.
freaking snake guy.
Because
You just
I've
really want to find
I've
that
never
snake
seen
guy.
that snake guy. I've never seen that
He was in
snake
What
Attack of the
the
Clones.
fuck?
He was in the
Oh my
background.
oh, maybe
God.
they are.
What is this?
His name is
What
His name
the-
is Oppo Rensisis.
His name is
He
Bad
kind
Hair
of looks
Day.
cool,
What the
but it's
fuck?
kind of
His
creepy.
name is Bad Hair. That was got him, buddy. That was
Jesus
a good one.
Christ!
write that
What
It's like
down.
is
half
that?
Wookiee, half snake.
His name is Bad Hair.
It
There's
ugh.
some legitly
Half
badass Jedi on the Jedi Council, though.
warrior. Am I
And
right?
they just all get taken out. That's one thing I felt
Like,
like
they
they
don't-
fell short is like not
a
exposing
lot
the
of council
talents of
members don't make it.
any other Jedis other than like the main like 4 or 5.
Yeah, dude. Like, not even. Like, Plo Koon is one of the most badass Jedis of all time, and they just never
Oh no! Oh my God!
do anything with him.
Let me see if I'm guessing
Well,
who
Clone War,
I
in
think
the
you're
Clone
talking
Wars
about.
show, he does a lot actually.
Let me
Yeah,
see
that's
who-
true. That's true.
Fuck yeah! This is the dude that I played with in the PlayStation game. I played this
Who?
guy, Plo Koon.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
he-
For hell,
he was
yeah,
like-
dude.
He was the best one to play with. I'm trying to remember
the
my brother
name
had a
now.
Plo Koon
Kit
lightsaber.
Fisto too.
Kit Fisto got taken out by Grievous though. Got a bitch made. Yes.
What are you talking about? You see how many Jedi that Grievous took out? He just got like a
Yep.
plethora
of
of
lightsabers. Yep.
He has
And,
he
like,
has
but,
thousands.
dude,
Like Grievous is a
Grievous has
is
killed
a
thousands of
huge
Jedi.
badass.
Grievous has killed
Yeah,
almost.
Grievous is an
Grievous-
enormous badass.
Grievous has killed probably the most Jedi hand to hand. Guaranteed, he's killed the most hand to
Yeah,
hand. The only person who's killed
Like,
more
Grievous
is
is
Darth
like-
Vader because or Order 66. The only person who's killed more officially
Darth
is probably
Vader.
Order 66 with Palpatine.
Well, does
I
it
imagine.
count? But with the younglings, are they considered Jedi? Does that
No,
count? To
no,
go to his kill
no,
count?
Vader-
no, they don't.
Vader
They
has
don't. They don't count.
35 Jedi kills, not including younglings.
Jesus.
Not including younglings. No, but he was killing the sand people younglings too. Remember, he's like the women and the children. I hate them.
Yeah.
You know, he
Oh
killed
my
them all.
god!
He
Don't
was
get
killing-
me
he's a
started, dude.
He's a kid.
Don't
he's
get
a
me
kid
started.
killer. He's a kid killer, serial killer. When you think about it, he's killed more
Yeah.
children.
All right.
Like, how did he ever become a Jedi?
So we're
He-
doing this. Dude,
Uh,
not only is he a kid killer, but he goes back to Padme. He's like, I killed the men, the women, the children, all of them,
And she-
slaughtered them
and-
like animals. And
and
she
she-
just goes, "Oh, you poor thing. Come here. Give me a hug. Give me a hug."
and
It's
she
okay.
married.
We all get
that.
angry.
She married
She says,
Jeffrey
We all
Dahmer.
Married
get
that
mad
psychopath.
sometimes. I'm like,
Bro-
what the
Bro,
An hour ago, you were talking about how rapey he is, and now you're hugging him after he
She-
just told
she-
you he murdered innocent
she
people.
married John Wayne Gacy. Okay.
yeah.
Dude, she married Hitler.
She
full
married Hitler.
knowledge, full knowledge of his capabilities and like how far into the darkness he's gone.
Can I
and
make a
still
Dune
married.
reference? Can I make another Dune reference?
Of
Go
course,
ahead.
you can.
And Dune Messiah, fucking Paul Atreides is comparing himself to Hitler and is like 6 million. That was pretty impressive for those days. I mean, yes, sure, I've killed in the hundreds of billions, but you know, back then because they reference Earth as like an ancient past, and like they actually reference Genghis Khan and all that shit. It's crazy. I can't wait till you get into Dune Messiah because it's pretty good. It's not as good as the first one, but it's still good.
So circling back to Star Wars.
No,
Okay.
never.
I really want to talk about how bad this CG is, dude. I'm not done with the CG yet.
Was it good at the time?
No.
I can't
No,
remember
no,
what
no,
CG was
no, it
like
wasn't.
then, so I can't.
No, but if you reference Sci-Fi Channel CG, it was better than that, but not by a lot.
Well,
Like
a
it was
large
still
portion
Not
of the
by a
movie
lot at
was
all.
in
yeah.
CG. I don't know, like maybe they had to balance budget with quality, right?
They shouldn't have. They should have did more of how they did the other movies because you lose a lot of that Star Wars feel in
Well,
the
Lucas
CG, and
was.
I think that's what a
Mhm.
lot of people's major complaint
I
was.
think Lucas really loved the CG aspect of it, though. Like as clear as day. He was
He
all in
did.
on
He
that.
he worshipped
Yeah.
that shit. Yeah. He was like,
Yeah.
Well,
it's gonna be so good. The
in
fucking neckbeards are gonna
fairness,
love me.
episode 2 came out the same year as the Scorpion King. So I mean, at least it beat out something.
Yeah, it was better. It was better than the Scorpion
What year
King
was that?
CG for
But like
sure.
that's what I mean. Like what was it? Practical effects and like puppetry is just far superior to most CGI.
Yeah.
Like that's why
Well,
a
not
lot
so
of the,
much anymore.
not so much
Not so much
anymore,
anymore.
but in that time it was better.
Yeah.
Like that's why a lot of the old stuff like Dark Crystal, Willow, like movies like that, they stand the test of time because of like the craftsmanship and like everything you had to pay attention to when you did practical effects like that.
I mean, it depends on who you ask, because my wife
Do you
is super
think?
creeped out by puppets like that.
That's the thing.
Muppets.
They're so realistic that they're creepy.
Yeah, dude. So do you think Hayden Christensen banged Natalie Portman?
No,
No,
no
not a
way.
chance in hell.
No, hell
Not
no.
not even a little bit of chance.
No,
We were
she would
just
never
talking
stoop
about
to
how
that level.
intelligent she was.
She would
There's no
never
way.
Yeah.
stoop to that level. She went to Harvard for God's sakes. She straight up. She probably
Fair
right
enough.
before that picture, she
Nice.
probably sent a bushel
He
of
still kissed her.
cupcakes that said "best friend"
He
on
did.
them to his
He
trailer.
did
Yeah,
get to
he-
kiss
I mean,
her multiple
personally,
times. So I
Yeah.
mean,
That's as
personally,
far as he
my,
got.
my least favorite part of this
Yeah.
movie is probably Anakin. So I have a lot to dislike Hayden Christensen about, but that's my.
oof,
It's
that's
so jarring. Every scene he's in is just so
My
distracting.
I'm critical. I'm very
like
critical of
in a
how
movie
Obi-Wan
with Jar
operates.
Jar Binks and
Jar Jar was
CG
tame.
this
He was
bad,
tame.
Jar Jar
Hayden
Bi-
Christensen-
plot holes a mile wide.
Jar Jar Binks is
Like-
barely in the movie. He's
did-
like in the movie briefly.
Yeah,
He
to-
might
to-
barely be in the movie, but like
He does damage.
First of
No,
all,
he does damage.
somehow he managed to become Padme's stand-in in the last
Why?
10 years. I don't know
But
how
why?
the fuck
But
you got
why?
promoted that high.
That was so
but then on top of that,
that was
hands
manipulated.
the entire galaxy over to Palpatine.
right,
Yeah.
and that was why
he
though
did a
because
great job. He did a
well,
great job.
he was manipulated by Palpatine because you got to look how Palpatine obviously had a hit on her, so she would have to be forced to leave. It was never planned for her to die. He knew that she wouldn't die from that. I'm sure the assassination attempt was very real. He knew that Anakin and Obi-Wan would protect her, or someone would protect her, and to manipulate. So in her stead, we have Jar Jar Binks. Or how easy was he manipulated? Jar Jar Binks just overheard some shit and just came to the conclusion himself to fucking offer emergency powers to the fucking. That's just to me. And then
And they did I miss something, or did they not explain where that came from? Like it
They
like
never
I
explained
don't know
it.
if I missed it, but it seemed like when
They
I was
didn't. They
watching
did
it,
not
he
explain
just
it.
kind of shows up and then just like, you know what? I'm gonna call for a vote of emergency powers to Palpatine.
no,
for
because
some reason.
something is mentioned and he like is overhears Palpatine and his cronies kind of talking. I think it's the blue guy, the very that blue guy is like super evil, but he like overhears him say something, and then he takes that information into account when he offers the emergency powers to the Senate. And it's crazy how like that was all planned. Like Palpatine, that was all part of the plan for him to get those. And then when Palpatine says, I love it, he says, I will give this power up immediately as soon as it's not needed anymore. And then he becomes emperor. Like he's such a
Yeah,
piece of
psych.
shit. Yeah, you know. Like and then
Gotcha, bitch.
how far away is Revenge of the Sith in the Clone Wars? Is that like another 10 years? You gotta think about that. Like he's
It's
still
3 years.
it's so okay,
I
still
looked it up last
3
night. It's 3 years.
so this war's going on. I mean, and then think of all the things that happen. So the Clone Wars show spans that gap, right? So to really understand The Clone Wars show was great. I wish it was live action. It was so good because you really get to see all that went down. Where when you see Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting in that star battle against General Grievous when they land on a ship in the beginning of Revenge of the Sith, you got to think in context of all the war. They are seasoned generals, both of them. I think at that point, like they are fucking seasoned soldiers at the very least, and high-ranking officers at best. So like that distance between the time between those 3 years, they've seen some shit. They have been through some shit. Am I wrong? Like you got to think about that. You know?
No, you're definitely right.
Yeah. I think that's probably the coolest aspect of Star Wars is not the execution of how good the movies are, because we can argue about that all day, but is all the extra shit that goes along with it. And like I really like to see all these other shows, all these things that Disney can do with Disney Plus in capturing some of these moments in between where we get a lot of our context for things. I think that's
Yeah, and like you're 100% right. Like I think that's why Mandalorian was so popular.
so
Cuz
good.
like
I mean, it's so
it
good.
is because like the thing that I talked about it I think like a couple podcasts ago is like it's minimalist. Like they went back to less is more,
Right,
and like
which was
like
good.
you don't get a lot of information in the Mandalorian. You just get
But
cool, exciting shit that makes you think.
it feels like Star Wars and Rogue One-y Star Wars, but it feels like Star Wars. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
I like
Speaking
it.
of speaking of the Clone Wars animated show though, did anybody else look at the clone troopers in this movie and think they look straight out of that
Pretty damn
cartoon?
close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. No, but the
Oh
Like
Clone
there was a
Wars.
shit.
couple of scenes where I was like, did they just rip this out of a show that didn't exist yet?
No, 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 no. I think the Clone Wars show ripped it from the movie. Like they copied the movie.
It's just
Obviously.
exactly
Yeah,
copied
right.
it.
Like no, but if you look at the clone troopers in the show, they all have their own personalities to an extent, and they all like some of them are bald, some of them have facial hair and shit. Like they have different looks, but the same
Ways to
plot.
differentiate themselves from the masses. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, because
Meanwhile, in
yeah,
this movie, they take orders from Padme, which they have no context for doing for any
yeah,
reason at all.
that's stupid.
You know what
maybe
got me?
maybe they're
Like I
programmed
actually
to
forgot to mention.
take Senate officials. You know, maybe they're programmed that way to take orders from Senate officials or something.
But why would they know who she is at all?
Dude, Palpatine's a fucking mastermind, man.
That's
he's
That's all I
he
got
just
for you,
did it.
bro. He just
It's
did
like
it.
it's
Yeah,
a,
that's all I
and
actually
it
got.
just
actually
default back. Palpatine's the shit. That's all you just default back
actually
to that.
Budget quality, check
bec-
me budget quality.
but because we're at this point now, I'm just gonna bring this up, dude. Like, first of all, how did Yoda know to come strapped to Geonosis, ready for war?
Because Obi-Wan
And
was like, "There, this shit's going down right now, boy.
but he didn't say
Bring,
anything, dude.
bring
He's just like there
extra."
seems
He
it
said,
just
"Bring
seems
extra
like there's something.
lightsabers."
Yeah, but he wasn't like bring an entire army prepared for intergalactic
Pretty
combat.
sure that goes
Like
without saying.
Yoda was just like, something weird's happening on Geonosis. Time for war,
Yeah,
baby. Let's go. It's
no one
time
tells
to
them.
throw down.
It's
And
time to throw down.
and
Yeah.
they had the droid army of
Well, that's where
Geonosis
they were
ready
being.
to go too. Like they're just like,
I'm
what if
well.
we get
That's
caught,
where they
man?
were
We
being
gotta go.
created. So it makes sense that there were so many droids there. But I think
No, that they were there, but not that they were just strapped
No,
and ready to go like they were, dude.
The Geonosians are like builders. That's what they do because they build hives and stuff. But they built the. Not only did the Geonosians build the droid army, at first they were like the main mass producer for the droids. They also, fun fact, I don't know if you know this, but they started the first Death
they
Star. They
showed that,
obviously
and
were fired, but
yeah,
they started
Yeah,
first fucking
they
this.
mentioned that, and there's a lot of throwbacks to Episode 4 in this movie.
Yeah,
Actually,
did you guys ever get a chance to listen to that book? I think it was A Certain Point of View that I talked to you about.
I don't think so.
Because there's a chapter that's all about no, 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 I'm wrong. The Rogue One book. Did you ever get to a chance to listen to the what's it called? Catalyst, a Rogue One story? Oh, it's so good. It,
Definitely
oh, it
not.
tells the whole story of that the director guy.
Krennic.
Um what's his face? Fuck face. Krennic, director Krennic. His dealings with the Geonosian like emperor with building the Death Star because he's under a time crunch. He's got to deal with Vader and all them and Tarkin. And Tarkin's up his ad, dude. if you don't ever listen to anything I suggest, please check that one out. That one has so much good fucking shit in it. Please, Dean, I'm talking to you. Talking right at you, right?
Nobody else.
Yeah,
Fuck you guys.
they're not gonna listen to me. You are a sane person.
Really? That's how you're gonna.
I gotta get
like,
through
form
Dune
this?
first, though.
Get through Dune. Oh, more than anything, I disregard what I just said. Dune. Can I talk to you about our Lord and Savior, Paul Muad'Dib?
Dune.
Dune.
Stupid.
Do
I
you
gotta
have a
get-
moment to talk about the Quizarts
The
Hatterack?
Kwisatz Haderach.
No, for real though. Like, I was so taken aback by Yoda just showing up like hella strapped
I
and
love
ready to go for combat.
how they tossed him some sabers, like, because you know how the Jedi connect with their, like, the kyber crystals choose them in a way, and they're like, the lightsaber is an extension of them in a lot of ways. It's
And they just tossed
But
them
they
a
just
couple of
toss them
spares.
some spares, and it's like, man, that probably threw off their game a little, you know?
like at first, my first thought when I saw that scene, I was like, they just came with spare lightsabers? And then
Well,
my second
yeah.
thought was, wait, they have spare lightsabers?
You know what's so cool though?
Why not?
That like they break their lightsabers, and
They
like
got an
that's the
armory.
so you know.
Because building a lightsaber is something that's like ritualistic
Well,
for a
think about
Jedi.
all the
You don't
ones
Yeah,
just
that they
have
fuck.
them.
Think about all the ones they fuck up, and that's what they got. They got defective shit. They got like
Defective ass like
Yeah.
lightsabers.
doesn't turn
It's
on.
a fork.
Yeah, it's a fork.
Lightsaber trident.
That'd be cool. That would be cool, bro. A Librant, a tri-saber.
Oh my god, dude! And
I like those
Geonosis
staffs.
is such a fucking.
I hated
shit
the
show,
entire
man.
factory
I can't
scene.
even-
That
I
could have been
yeah,
removed.
yeah, with
basically
C-3PO.
everything
C-3PO's
on
head getting
Geonosis, I was
wired
just
on
like,
a
this
fucking
is
droid.
so
Cringe.
bad.
C-3PO getting
Yeah.
wired to a battle droid was just retarded and childlike. Why would they do that?
Except all the Jedi like rolling in and just starting a huge.
No, I like
That
that
was pretty
that
badass.
praying mantis versus Obi-Wan, but it begs the question: why didn't Obi-Wan just crush its skull in with the Force? Like, why isn't he not using the Force?
There's a lot of
Like,
questions about
once
that.
once Obi-Wan got a lightsaber, it was game over for that praying mantis. Like,
Yeah,
it
he
was
didn't
like
know what was about to happen to
yeah,
him.
it was almost unfair. You know, it was like Jesus.
It was definitely unfair.
Yeah, like a lightsaber.
But also, you know what my biggest problem with this whole thing on Geonosis is? Why did they send so many Jedi to save one guy? Like, I know he's Obi-Wan Kenobi, but like, you're really gonna risk that many Jedi to save one guy?
They
There are
saved
so
three
few
people.
Jedi.
They indirectly saved three people because they didn't know that Padme and
They
Anakin
did,
were
but they
gonna-
didn't. Yeah, they didn't even know they were there. They sent everybody for Obi-Wan.
I think they had. I think
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan probably. I mean, Yoda probably had a feeling, like a force feeling that, like a feeling in his gut that
but
was
it wasn't
the move.
Yoda's. It wasn't Yoda's idea. Not Qui-Gon.
Windu.
Shit, what's his name? Windu. Windu's just like, I'm just gonna roll over to Geonosis with every Jedi we have.
No,
left.
no. And then
You're gonna
Yoda
do
went
what?
to Yoda went and got the clones.
He went to talk to the cloners.
Yes, but think about that, dude. Obi-Wan is on Geonosis because he's tracking the person who tried to kill Padme.
and then you have to
And
think.
he goes,
it
there's
could take-
something happening here. And their response is, I'm going to go get a fucking giant clone army and I'm going to take every Jedi we have.
Can I take it a step further than that, Dean? Because since you're complaining about Dooku, how long would it take to organize a fleet to get to Geonosis? Because you remember how far Camino is? Camino is on the outside the outer rim, right?
We don't
remember-
really have any context for how far that is. but
Yes,
you're
yes.
right.
No, well, for how well they do mention it several times of how far they do, because remember when the guy in the fucking diner, he tells them exactly where it is. It's outside the outer rim.
No, yeah, I know that, but like that doesn't mean anything to me as a viewer. Like
Well,
they
think about
tell you that it's outside the outer rim, but what the fuck does that mean? Is it like a solar system away, or are we talking about like
the outer
light-
we're talking about the galaxy, the outer rim of the galaxy. This is not solar systems. This is systems. This is like getting into the deep space where the Emperor had his shit, like getting into the uncharted area, edge. You know,
no, I know that, but I'm saying, like, as a casual viewer of this movie, you have no context for where the Outer Rim is, what that even means. That could be anything.
And they had all the
Right, right.
They
issues
don't tell you.
communicating with
My
Coruscant
point,
anyway.
my point is how are you gonna? It would take months to organize a fleet, an organized fleet to travel like that. They've never even been. They've been trained, but they've never been battle tested. Like to so that was quick of Yoda to hyperspace
Well,
to get there before everyone
that's
died. I mean, it's just crazy.
that's actually one point where I would push back a little bit in this movie's defense. I cannot fucking believe I just said that.
Yeah, what the
But
fuck? That is
when
surprising.
Obi-Wan shows up on Camino, like they show legions of these clone troopers like in formation loading up ships and shit like that. It's not unbelievable to think that he
Oh
would
yeah,
show up
okay.
there and be able to load them up.
I'll bite on that. Okay, fair.
But the fact that Yoda just shows up on Camino and he's just like, "Yo, dog, I'm taking all these clones
Well,
right
remember
now."
how well received Obi-Wan was? They're like, "Master Jedi, you're here." Like apparently they think the Jedi are financing this shit because remember that what he said in the diner is he's like they're very polite if you have the right amount of coin. So the banking
Mhm.
clan I know this, but you know most your casual viewer wouldn't know, but the banking clan is fronting all the money for the clones.
No, yeah, I know that, but like you
The
have
Jedi
to.
aren't, but the Caminos think the Jedi are paying for it because of Sifo Dyas was the guy that, you know, was
But like
convinced.
look at it from this perspective. Like we know that Obi-Wan goes to Geonosis, right?
Yeah.
And he gets jumped by presumably the Geonosians. I'm not really sure who takes him out, but I think that's the
Yeah,
implication.
yeah, yeah, it's definitely them. I mean, but
So
they're like
so
bugs. Like, how did he not just like kill them in droves with a lightsaber in the Force,
like Anakin did.
like
Yeah,
Anakin did?
Anakin destroyed those.
Yeah.
Anakin shows up there and just starts murdering them.
Remember,
Like he doesn't even consider like
he just murdered a whole sietch of Tusken Raiders. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, but like he doesn't even consider going like, whoa, whoa, whoa. He just like, nope, you're dead now.
Yeah, yeah.
You shouldn't have run at me like
Like he
that.
was killing ants with a magnifying glass.
But like, if you view it from Obi-Wan's perspective, it couldn't have been that long between when he sends that message to the Jedi
No,
Council
because he was
and
still
when we
alive.
get back. Yeah, because he's captured, he's attacked and captured on that recording, and he hasn't been executed yet by the time
Oh no.
Anakin and Padme show up and are also put into the same murder pit as him. And during all of this, Yoda had the time to go from the Jedi homeworld, which I forget which planet. I think it's Coruscant. But he
It's
goes
not. It's their main base,
whatever,
but it's not
wherever it
their
is.
homeworld. Their homeworld
Yeah,
was
you
like
know, that's what I mean. Like that's where he was though. The point
Jeddah
is
or
like he goes
Tython or one of
from
those.
he goes from there all the way to Camino and all the way to Geonosis from there in that short period of time.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Like
And
I will argue that
has the
that's impossible.
conversation with them. Yeah, like he gets to Camino, goes, "Yo, dog, I need all of your troops
R-
right now."
he said
Loads them all up and gets them there to
he said
Geonosis in time.
Autobots roll out.
Yeah, dude. And the Caminoans are just like, "All right, man,
I think
here
the
we
only
go.
thing that they
Let's
used to
go."
justify that amount of force was Obi's original message that got to the council, which showed him explaining what was going on in Geonosis because he sat in on that board member meeting with Dooku, and then it showed him getting attacked by a droid. So
He didn't sit in. He was
it,
just
it
like
it- like it
I think
was
it just showed
Yeah,
him.
like that's just
He listened in a little
well
bit and
he
then
was
back out,
he was
right?
explaining
No,
what
he was
was
already
going on in
captured.
Geonosis, so I guess they just read that and they're like, okay, we're going full out. I guess
yeah, that's a
He-
weird
the
response to
Force.
that
I
though,
don't
dude.
know.
Like especially considering how like clouded their judgment is because of the dark veil of the Force
So
and
they,
like
it seemed like
how
they sprung a
tactical
trap.
they've kind of been.
Yeah, it just
It
seems like
doesn't
they
make any
walked into a
sense for them to
trap
go
on
like,
purpose.
we're going, dude. We're going hard in the paint to save
Right.
Obi-Wan, and maybe there's something else going on here.
It seems really uncharacteristic and foolish to know you're being played, but accept it like, hey, I guess we got this army. We got to fight this war. The logical thing is not to take the bait, right? To like not,
Yeah.
get involved with a war or
That's
to something. I
that's
don't
the
know.
situation where you go, shit, we lost Obi-Wan, but it is what it is.
So
Ugh. No, they would have got
Like
out of it. It's
you
Obi-Wan and
you
Anakin.
don't
They would have got
start a
away.
gap. You do not start a galaxy-wide war for one guy. I don't care who that one guy
Tell
is.
that to the
Helen of Troy.
tell that to the
You let
Trojans, bro.
Yoda die before you let that happen.
Yeah, I mean that's the responsible thing, of course. I mean, yeah, I agree with that. As a leader, you have to know when to cut your losses and
Yep.
fucking
Yes.
yeah. Like that's part of
Like that
leadership.
that is the most ridiculous response to the information that we're shown for them to have imaginable. Like that is just unbelievable that Yoda is the guy, even in the limited time that we've seen him in these two movies, that's like, well, hold on now. Maybe let's sit back and consider our options before we just like kick in the front door, right? And yet Yoda is the one who goes to Camino, grabs a gigantic army, and rolls up on the Geonosians like it's fucking going down now, bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but maybe he like, felt it in the force in his gut, like felt it in his
No,
scrot, you know?
fuck him and his forced feelings, because he
Damn.
said he felt
Fuck
something
him.
terrible happen, and we're talking about Anakin murdering all the
He was
sand people.
he was feeling Anakin's emotions even while they were battling. Remember when Padme falls out of the little thing and he's about to jump after her and Obi-Wan's going, "What would she do?" And he's like, "She would do her duty." And that was actually a redeeming quality for Anakin, but it flashes to Yoda briefly and Yoda like feels that distress in Anakin. Like he's actually
Yeah,
Yoda is a good mentor to Anakin, and it's kind of I don't think he gets enough credit for how how
Actually,
he actually cares for him. He actually cares about what he's going through. And like, remember in Revenge of the Sith, he actually is talking to Anakin, talking to Yoda about seeing the future in his dreams and stuff. Like,
mhm,
it's kind of like Yoda really, in a lot of ways that we may not even know about fully, but Yoda is like the I want to say guidance counselor, or what have you of the Jedi. Like, he cares about their feelings and cares about what they're going
you're
through.
you're right, but also like one thing that really stuck out to me while I was watching this movie is I kept thinking like, what if Anakin had just talked to Yoda or talked to the Jedi Council about these feelings and these issues that he had? Like, what if
Yeah.
the Jedi Council had been there for him instead of Palpatine, who we see like
Oh,
telling him all the wrong shit?
1000%. The Jedi losing the would be chosen one to Palpatine was their own fucking fault. Like the Jedi Council, and I agree with Dooku, and I agree with Palpatine. I agree with them in a lot of ways how flawed the Jedi philosophy is. You can't not have passion in your life. The other end of that spectrum, the flaw in the Sith is you can't be all gung ho about your fucking hate and shit. You gotta have some sort of control over shit. But like, you're right. It was so convenient for Palpatine to be that guy to like, oh no, it's okay. You can have a you can go. It's like if you ever heard the song, what is it? DMX song about Damien. He's got like he meets like this friend and he's like always encouraging him to do evil shit. He's just like, yeah, you can go ahead, do it. It's like it's a song about the devil, I think, really. Like the devil in
devil
you.
on your shoulder.
Yeah, devil on your shoulder kind of thing, yeah.
The other thing that I noticed about Anakin in this movie though is like it seems clear to me that Anakin's path was set, dude.
Yes, yes.
We were talking about it in last episode, but like if Qui-Gon had survived and he had been Qui-Gon's Padawan instead, I don't think that would have changed a damn thing after watching this movie. Like
Oh, yeah,
Anakin
maybe
is
not.
so
Yeah,
full of fear and anger and distrust and lack of respect and arrogance. Like he's just like
he's all the worst traits of a Jedi.
Do you think
a
Honestly,
there's
hundred percent,
do you think there's any
all the
part
worst
of
traits
that
of a
100%.
Jedi.
that Obi-Wan's to blame?
No, actually, Obi-Wan
Mm,
was more
Yeah,
maybe
but
cautious than the Jedi
so
Masters. That's
he
the
was
whole
with
thing.
Obi-Wan for 10 years. So, yes, he was an 8-year-old boy and at that age your personality is mostly set, but you grow a lot throughout 10 years. So, some of that burden I think has to be put on Obi-Wan. I think that Anakin would
But
have
that's
been different with Qui-Gon, completely different. That's a really tough argument to make. But I do think that things would have been different.
yeah. Don't you think? because in my opinion, Anakin as a child was like nowhere close to what he became after these 10 years. So I don't know what happened.
Yoda was
in
right.
those
He
10
was
years.
too old. He was too old. I think I mentioned it before, but when they normally take them as babies, and you could
Yes.
really mold a person from that. But when you take someone as like a 10-year-old who's already been a slave and been subjugated to like trauma, I mean, there's some deep rooted trauma in Anakin, and the fact that he was having these dreams about his mother, that he was too connected to his mother when they took him, and that was a lot of his easier for him to fall to the dark side. He was also like Dean said, he was I think he's the one that they create with
Kind
the
of
like
predetermined to be.
he was a like a predisposition for it. He was really intended to be the fucking Jedi's
I do also think that,
demise.
worst enemy.
like,
Worst enemy, yeah.
Darth Vader.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have to interject
Well
for just a
said.
second here, guys,
Of course.
because like
It's your
I looked
it's your
up,
podcast, Dean. You do it.
I looked up the conversation that was had before all the Jedi went to Geonosis, and like how the hell that could have possibly happened, because I genuinely don't really remember the conversation that was
either.
had that happened that led to that. And at one point during that conversation, Palpatine asks Yoda, like, how many Jedi can go to Geonosis? Yoda responds, and I quote, "Throughout the galaxy, thousands of Jedi there are. To send on a special mission, only 200 are available." Are you kidding me? To save one guy? Yoda's like, well, I mean, that's a specialized mission, so let's send 200 Jedi to save Obi-Wan.
How many of them died? You know, how many of them were murdered in the battle royale?
Don't they know at that point
Yeah,
that
let's find out.
Geonosis was the droid foundry? So
they know that because the droids have always been made.
They would
That's
know
not
that if
surprising.
they would know that the droid army is being turned against them, and they couldn't just bring a few guys. Like I think they anticipated that it was going to be a large battle.
They suspect that, but like again, no. But here's the problem: like they suspect that they say in that same conversation they suspect that the droid army is being turned on them. But even at that, you're gonna escalate to all-out war, 'cause that's what they're talking about, dude.
Yeah.
When you send 200 Jedi and an army
it's an act
on
of
a suspicion, that's an act of war.
It's an act of war.
Mace
Regardless of what the
Windu did say
actual
earlier.
actions are.
Definitely
Mace
a war
Windu
crime.
did specifically state earlier. He's like, we can't wait for the Senate to make up its mind. We have the authority to go now. We must go now. And Yoda agrees.
But
well,
that's
I'm not
insane,
diminishing it.
dude.
You're right. I think
Like,
you are right. They jumped the gun
like,
significantly.
You suspect, and here's the thing, and this actually, I'm glad you asked me this, Matt, because looking up this number makes it even worse.
You're welcome.
Even then, they suspect that the armies are being turned against them. For them to go like, we have to act, is insane.
It is,
like that goes counter to everything the Jedi stand for.
Yeah.
And of the 200
Jedi,
Jedi,
it's very out of character for the Jedi to.
Yeah. And of the 200 Jedi they sent, 170 of them died on
So
Geonosis.
most of them die. 30 survived.
Only 30 Jedi
they sent
survived this
what
encounter.
They sent their worst?
No, they sent.
Going on here?
It had to
clearly not, because you know that Windu is there.
Yep.
I think Plo Koon is there.
Kit
Fisto's definitely
Kit Fisto obviously survived too, because he was
so
died
happy
by
when
Grievous's
he force
hand.
pushed C-3PO. That little smile,
dude. Yeah, did you see him just charging with
smile?
Dude, Kit Fisto's awesome.
He is awesome. I like Kit Fisto. But
like all of
he can swim. He's cool underwater. You seen him underwater?
Oh yeah, dude,
kicking ass on.
Yeah,
I just hate that I actually hate that he was like. I would have been okay with him dying in Order 66, but it like because he's so cool to like die by Grievous. It's like I mean, I know Grievous killed a lot of people, but still. No. Kit Fisto died by Palpatine, right?
I can't
remember.
Palpatine
that killed him, wasn't it? When he goes in, no, it is. If Palpatine killed him, because he's one of the Jedi that goes to fight with Mace Windu, brings Kit Fisto with him with a couple other Jedi to confront.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was wrong. For you listeners,
don't worry. I'm sure we've been wrong about a number of things, but I mean, I'm not surprised that
I'm not.
The Jedi did something like this, because countless times throughout the prequel, Jedis make terrible decisions which lead to their ultimate demise. Countless terrible
do.
decisions.
that's the whole point, and it's due to
They
their
Back
arrogance.
to back to back to back.
And they're way too arrogant
like.
too. I think actually, was it Yoda that just mentions on the fly? He's like, arrogance has become more common in our Jedi ranks.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was definitely Yoda. He said it
This
to
man's been around for
Obi-Wan while he was
900
right
years,
next to
almost the
Mace
beginning
Windu.
of the actual Republic itself.
So how is he making these rookie ass mistakes, man?
Like,
Because
it
he
just
was
doesn't
clouded
make
by the dark
sense.
side.
Yeah, but that
Like,
but
it's-
Even still, he's not stupid.
Yeah,
because of the
that's
dark
what I
side.
mean. Like, it's
right,
just,
you don't lose
Yeah, but
logic
Yoda's not
because of the
Yoda's not
dark
in charge
side.
of.
it makes me lose
He's not in
respect
charge of
for Yoda.
everything. It's
Yeah,
a
yeah, for
council.
sure.
You know, there are thousands of Jedi. I think that
Isn't
Yeah,
he
he's-
though?
No,
I mean, like
Yeah.
every time that we see the council, it's either
Yoda?
exclusively Yoda talking
Or
or
Mace
whoever
Windu.
is talking
yeah, but
defers
figurehead. I
to
mean,
Yoda.
yes, ultimately he should be accountable, but he also can't personally oversee thousands of Jedi across the galaxy. So I understand what happened.
But he does
But
give,
he
like,
can send
the
200
I'm not
others
going to
to
die
death.
on that sword. I don't know why they did that.
It's your it's your personal choice to go and die. I mean, I think, right? Like
It didn't
he's-
sound like
Not
he
if
said-
Master Yoda tells you what you do.
He said we need 200 guys. Who's down to ride? And 200 of them are like,
what he said was 200 are available to go on this mission. It
He's
seems
like,
to
he
imply
would've
like
sent
we have
more. He
200
would've sent
they're all
more.
going.
He would have sent more.
Oh,
Straight
yeah,
up.
he would have. He
That's
should
what it
have.
implies.
He should have sent more.
To
Some more
die?
to die.
No.
If there were
Maybe he
more
would-
Jedi,
I don't know, but
the siege
but the
would've
clone
gotten
saved the
worse.
day. The clone saved the day for sure.
Oh my God,
Yeah. It's true.
Has he changed that much?
What?
The clone saved the day,
Kid
man.
Fisto.
Doesn't he have like 8 fingers or something like that
Does
on
he?
each hand?
Don't know.
That'd be cool.
I don't know. Like, it just
I
looked
didn't know
like
he's
when he did the force
webbed.
bomb.
He's got webbed hands.
Ah, okay. That makes
Yeah.
more sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's a swimmer. They swim. They're underwater
Yeah,
people.
I'm just saying, like, Plow Koon's my favorite.
Yeah, no,
More
he
than
no,
Mace Windu.
dude. Honestly, dude, that is a respectable choice. And notable mention, Dean's Wookiee Jedi favorite. Awesome.
Oh, Tyvoka.
Tyvoka,
Hell
yeah. I mean, I feel like kind of cliche for Obi-Wan, but when you look into Obi-Wan's like story and his feats, he is impressive. He is easily one of the best who ever did it. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah. and,
Order
like, that's what I-
66 survivor, not a
Yeah,
bitch.
That's what I
Just
mean.
saying.
It's just like, if they would have listened to Obi-Wan about Anakin, this probably would have been avoided, in my opinion.
Well, maybe
like-
not completely, but it would have
No,
definitely. You're right.
don't know
They
why-
should have listened to him for
The
sure.
whole
Oh
summer
my
vacation
God.
getaway with Padme and them going, like, falling just dangerously in
Well,
love out of
she-
nowhere.
Shit, dude.
She didn't
Like,
even want
It
to.
would have honestly would have been either avoided.
She fell
or
for
at
him after
least-
they almost died.
Yeah,
That's-
or it would have been at least delayed for a number of years that this whole, like, Galactus invasion and war would not have happened, in my opinion. Do you think Obi-Wan would have got caught if Anakin was with him?
You mean no? Well, they would have took a lot of them out. They would have.
I don't know. I mean, we don't see what actually attacks Obi-Wan, so it's really hard to say.
Well, I mean, it was probably Dooku. Honestly, Dooku's
probably
better than
would've
Obi.
took out Jango
Dooku
Fett
is Dooku is
before
better
he
than
left.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah, he
about
makes that
when-
very clear.
Yeah,
About when Dooku was talking to Obi-Wan, I don't know if this was like a ploy or whatever, but he made it seem like he was trying to take out Darth Sidious to Obi-Wan. Like, when he had him captured, he's like, telling
well.
him-
Have you noticed that's an ongoing thing? Like when
Yeah.
the rule of two is we're gonna try to kill the master and become the master. Dooku, if he could have turned Obi-Wan, they would have killed Sidious or tried to, and then it would have been eventually Obi-Wan trying to kill Dooku and so on. And the rule of two is I'm gonna teach an apprentice and he's gonna try to kill me, and if he can kill me, I deserve to die. That's their thing. You know?
Here's the problem that I have with that, though.
It is
we don't-
stupid.
We as a viewer don't know that Dooku's a Dark Jedi or anything at that point,
Mhm.
and so
I
But
didn't
it's
read.
like,
I
how
didn't
could he
read
have
that
not be? I
conversation
mean,
as him
like-
trying to turn him to the dark side. I read him I saw that conversation as Dooku trying to justify the separatist movement.
No, that's a subtle way. That's a subtle way.
Yeah.
That's a subtle way to sway someone to the dark side by not saying join the dark side. That's too obvious. It's you start them with little planting
The road to
seeds.
hell is
Like,
paved with good intentions.
Thank
No,
you.
yeah,
Thank you.
yes,
Thank you.
no, I'm
Well
I'm
said,
I'm
brother.
100%
Well
agree
said.
with all of you. Like, I don't read that scene as him trying to turn him to the dark side. And yeah, it's probably like subtle manipulation attempts by Dooku, but like we've never seen Dooku before just now, so we have no context for why Obi-Wan is like, "No, you go to hell, Dooku. You go fuck yourself, bro." Like, knowing that he's a dark Jedi, then yeah, sure, that makes sense. But we don't know that. For all we know is like everything that Dooku's saying makes perfect sense. And Obi-Wan's
Mhm.
just like, no, you can go eat a dick.
Yeah,
dude.
he doesn't.
It's
He
not
doesn't even
happening."
really question it. Is like because it's coming out of Dooku's mouth. He's just like fuck you. Like that's all lies.
And
He's
and
like,
that's why I asked earlier. I was like, what the
Oh,
fuck did Dooku do, man?
I thought
Like,
it was
it's
kind of weird
it's
too
so
that
weird.
Mace Windu he says Count Dooku was once a Jedi. He wouldn't assassinate anyone. It's not in his character. Like they're pretty confident. They're like just because
Yeah.
he's a former Jedi, like okay.
dude, fuck you. Like I'm sorry, the Jedi are so flawed. Like
Speaking of confidence, was anybody else taken back when the librarian is like, "Nah, dude, if
Wait a
it's not
sec.
in the archives, it doesn't exist."
I mean, she's a fucking librarian. She
She
lives
no,
for
but
the books
she
in the
is
archives.
such an asshole. Like,
Yeah.
Like
oh
5
my god,
seconds ago, she was like, "I've never heard of that
that's
before," but
like
it's definitely not there.
that's like saying like with the evidence with the or lack thereof of Epstein saying yeah he definitely killed himself. I have no questions. He that's what they told me. He killed himself. That's what happened. He killed himself.
The
Oh
absence of evidence isn't the evidence of absence.
right right. But I'm just saying like you know what I'm
That's
saying.
basically what it is, though.
Yeah. I mean she's just an idiot. Like to
She
be so
she
close, like a Jedi should not be close-minded. A Jedi should be very open-minded, right?
she's the
Well, I
Walmart
mean, they're
worker who
all
will not go in the
close-minded,
They
back when you
are,
ask for
but they
soda.
they shouldn't be. None of them should be fucking closed-minded. They should all be pretty open-minded, not to things that they don't believe in, but they should be open-minded to situations that concern. Like, I mean, Yoda included, all of the Jedi, the Master Council, they should all be
I
more open-minded to things.
I
and
think is
that's
that
why Luke is the greatest Jedi of all time.
no fuck
Is
him.
it?
Luke
Is it
sucks.
though? Is he though? Is he though?
No,
Yeah,
he's not.
yeah, he
He's
definitely is.
really. I hate.
He
Why?
Luke definitely is the greatest
No,
Jedi of all time.
are you patronizing the Force or are you being serious? I can't tell
He's
anymore.
being sincere.
Okay.
So
Oh, I'm
sincere.
100% sincere, especially if
So
you take in the
why is
EU into account.
why is he in your opinion why is Luke Luke was my favorite Jedi until I
Because
came to my senses.
he wasn't as stringent in his thinking as all the other Jedis. The reason
Right.
Yes.
I'm guessing is because
Well,
Luke didn't see everything as black and white. He actually saw the world as
For
gray,
what it was, yeah.
which what an order that's supposed to keep the peace should be like. All situations are not black and white. All
Right.
situations are actually gray, especially in a political landscape.
Oh,
So
especially. Yeah.
that's
That's a
why
very good answer.
Luke
That is the answer I
Luke would have
wanted.
been seen as a
that
better Jedi.
that's 100% true, but also like Luke is by far and away the most powerful Jedi to ever have existed.
Is that a fact? Is that a fact though?
That
is
is
he
a fact.
is
That
he
is
strong?
canon.
He's stronger than Emperor Vitiate. He's stronger than Darth Revan. He's
Yes.
stronger than Palpatine because Palpatine was whooping
By
his ass.
by orders of magnitude.
I do not.
Luke is so powerful that he used the Force to manipulate a black hole.
in the
Oh
EU.
God!
In the EU.
No, stop! I hate
Yes.
everything.
That's not
All right.
canon.
So
That's
good.
not
I can't
that's
be a
not
part of this
canon,
conversation.
though.
I was trying to help you out here, Dean, but I'm done.
That's not
Done.
canon. That's not canon though.
I can't do this.
Right? Like
Not
that's
anymore. It was.
yeah, but that's all fan shit. Like all the people that randos wrote in these stupid books. I mean, and I read them,
I'm
But
just-
it's
and
I mean it's all signed off on by Lucas Arts. Like
No,
you can't
the
say that it's just all
only
bullcrap.
thing
is it,
that
so
that
he
comes
read
to
each
mind
book
right
and was
now,
like, "Yeah, that's what I wanted for this. I wanted
No,
Yeah.
but like
twins."
no, but well, first of all, he has or had, I don't know what they do anymore, but when that was written, LucasArts, whatever it was under, they had a guy who was like the lore keeper for Star Wars, but also anytime you make a major change to like one of the main characters like Chewie, Luke, Han, whatever, George himself has to sign off on it.
Oh,
So you
that
can't
makes
just kill them. You can't like give them crazy new powers without him going, "Yes, that's okay."
yep.
yeah, you know.
Can
So
we all agree that this is the worst one that we've seen so far though?
So
So
far? Oh,
far,
absolutely.
By like a
yes.
long
Oh,
shot,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's not even close.
And like
Like
it
between the
sucks.
horrible CG, the love plot that doesn't make any sense,
Anakin's horrible
and is actually
actor.
kind of offensive if you think about
Very
it.
offensive.
Yeah,
it's just it's yeah.
and it's
The
just
plot
like
that's terrible. Like
He
at
killed-
one point in this movie, Django just admits that he was hired by Darth Tyrannus right
No,
to
no,
Obi-Wan's
he was
face.
covering his ass, and he told him where. He said on Bogdan. He was like, you know what? I'm not defending. I'm not dying for this prick. You know.
But and then he did.
Well,
Yeah,
well,
Which
Yeah,
I
and
thought
then he did.
Django,
Straight up
knowing
died.
Django's backstory, he went out like such a bitch.
Mace
Django has an
Windu-
incredible
Ma-
backstory.
Mace
Yeah,
Windu
so did Boba. He's gotta-
Mace Windu wanted that head, bro. He came out with his lightsaber at his neck.
came chopping.
He's like, I'm taking that head, buddy.
Oh, speaking
Like,
of head,
oh, I'm getting it.
I'm getting
when,
it. Yeah.
when Boba lifted that helmet up, that head should have fallen out. Like, let's be real. How the hell how
Oh.
did his head
Yeah.
not
I
fall
mean,
out
it
of
was
the
strapped
helmet?
in there
That
real
Wait,
good, man.
I would
Sure.
like to imagine-
3-point strap system.
I would like to imagine that when he knocked the head off during the roll, after the camera cut away, that during the roll the head fell out.
No, it was in there.
It was,
Oh,
no,
it was
it was in there.
So he was looking
It was
into
in
his
there.
father's dead eyes through the helmet.
He's looking into his
He's got-
soul.
He's
Yeah.
got that 3-point harness on. It didn't go
Yeah.
anywhere.
He's like, no, it's in
Wait,
there.
So
Or
what got
what
me,
if Jango
like,
Fett never had a head and he was just all helmet?
he's just a phantom.
Yeah, he's a phantom.
No, honestly, one thing that stuck out to me when I first started watching the movie. Have you guys watched the movie Sky Captain, like something of tomorrow?
World of Tomorrow, and no.
Yeah,
No.
I just
That-
remember the name.
yeah.
That had
so if
Angelina
you looked up-
Jolie and Lawrence
Yup.
Fishburne in it, right?
It had a lot of big name actors in it for a terrible movie.
and,
but
and it was like
anyways,
a crazy, like I'm sorry for cutting you off, but it was like
it's like
crazy
a World War plot.
yeah,
shit like that.
Yeah, weird.
It was awful. Only thing that I got from that is like I remembered that there's planes, not just a plane, planes that look exactly like the Royal Cruiser that got blown up in the first scene.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
looked exactly like that.
And the sound the Royal Cruiser makes sounds like one of those old bomber planes from World War II. Like it
I'm-
was
I
definitely
think-
modeled after that. you
Was
know?
it
Like,
made before
remember
or
the
after? I'm pretty sure.
remember the Aviator with
Yeah,
Leonardo?
yeah.
It was like that
Yeah.
shit, kind of, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Spruce Goose.
Spruce Goose.
Bro, you know what I just remembered? Like we were talking about how insane Padme is for sticking with Anakin after he killed the Sand People or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's a
Dude,
murderer.
He's fucking like all bent out of shape before he tells her what he did. She goes, "What's wrong?" His mother just got murdered and he carried her back.
No,
What do you mean,
not,
what's wrong?
Not murdered, tortured to death.
Yeah, why?
Yeah, what's
So
wrong?
that I didn't understand that. Why the hell did Sand People just take her and were just torturing her? That didn't make any sense.
So Tuscan Raiders hate the white man. It's a known fact. I'm not even joking. They
Jesus
hate because
Christ.
they because
It went there.
the Tuscan Raiders, they hate out other because they're originally from Tatooine and they see the moisture farmers as like encroaching on their like territory. And the moisture farmers have blasters and in large like in groups, like realistically the Tuscan Raiders have to like ambush them to even get a foothold on them. And they do. They actively
So they're
ambush moisture
literally
farmers
like
and murder
Indians.
massacre. Yeah, they massacre people. In the Kenobi book, it's that's a main plot is the Tuscan. You get the book from the point of view of a leader of a Tuscan Raider clan, and which is a female, which is also weird for them because they're mostly patriarch. And you get the perspective of Obi-Wan Kenobi, then you get the perspective of the people. I think this girl, this lady that falls in love with Kenobi, but he doesn't fall for it. He's a Jedi, what have you. But anyways, the Tusken Raiders, what they do is they take little war parties and they go out and like murder as many people as they can and then run away. And what I'm guessing is they went in to go do that, got blasted at, grabbed a bitch and ran. That is my assumption of what happened.
And then just strung her up and was torturing her
Just strung
because
her up and said like, let's just torture her. And
They didn't get to kill as many people as they wanted to, so they had to get their
did
kicks
you
out of
know
one
that,
person.
that they wear that mask on their face their entire life and they like almost never take them off?
You mean like Mandalorian?
Well, yeah, I guess so. But it's like that mask. That mask, I think, is made out of like skin or some shit. It's like way
That's
grosser.
delicious.
It's smelly.
Actually,
Okay.
since we're back on Tatooine, did anybody else notice that like when Padme brought Anakin that tray of food, like was that blue milk?
It was
on
blue.
the
Yeah, I
tray?
commented on that
to
too.
it was to pay homage to fucking, that dumb shit.
C-3PO was so dirty.
Blue
Oh,
milk.
Actually,
I imagine blue milk tastes gross.
the
Yeah, I know.
the
Because
one
like if you like who likes strawberry milk, anyways?
me
Nobody. Have you
It's-
had it recently? It tastes.
You're
It
proving our
tastes.
point, Jordan.
It
Nobody.
tastes. Have you had it in the past 5 years? It tastes
yes,
bad.
I have. It's sugar milk. It tastes delicious.
It's sugar milk.
That's
Do
all
you
it
make
is.
it yourself? Do you make it yourself, or do you buy it from Nesquik? Because if you buy it from Nesquik, I get it. But if you make it yourself, just pouring way too much in it, I'm gonna fucking cry tonight.
No, like so. I mean, I've had it once in 10 years, maybe. I'll just buy the
So you don't
Nesquik
love
one.
it. You don't love it because if you loved it, you would drink it every day, like I drink Arizona.
I mean, I'll take
Okay.
chocolate over that. I'll take normal milk
Yeah,
over
if you
strawberry, but
like-
I don't hate it. I think it's good still.
I will take normal milk with cookies over.
I just like
almost anything.
strawberry flavored things. That's just, and honestly, it doesn't even taste like strawberry, it's just sugar. But I wanted to bring up, because I mentioned C3PO being dirty as hell randomly, but they just straight up stole C3PO from him and Luke's
Maybe
future
they paid him.
parents. Well,
yeah.
What do you mean?
So
They
then
took
they had to
C-3PO.
they had to buy him back. Think about how Owen Lars bought him again. Like he had him.
oh my
yeah,
god!
Then he paid for
Oh my
him.
god!
Oh my god!
Dude, what a plot hole!
Another guy who forgot about C-3PO.
Dude!
And
And they definitely stole
God
him.
damn it.
Freaking Padme and Anakin just flew away.
Can you steal what's already yours?
I don't know,
No.
but he like
Well, he
you
built
can't-
him.
He
He
never
built-
gave
he built 'em.
C-3PO to anybody. It was his robot.
I know, but
He
I
should have
don't
brought
know.
him. Well,
I don't
he never.
know.
No, but he
I
never
don't
finished
know.
him. Somebody finished him. Obviously.
And
They put
And-
plates on him, bro.
when
Anakin
did he
finished him.
when did
Come
he get the gold plating?
on.
I think they explained that in the
Good
third
question.
movie. I think they briefly show it. There was way too much
Unlike his
C-3PO
red
in this
arm.
freaking movie.
Well, he obviously at some point lost an arm, and they had to salvage a red arm. That goes without saying. Like
Which is insane when
If-
you consider how many times C-3PO's been destroyed, dismantled,
like
delimbed.
if I lose my bumper to my car, I have to go to a junkyard and get a fucking bumper because I'm not gonna pay $500 on eBay, right?
On a pre-used bumper and shit. You're still gonna rate me on price.
I know,
C-3PO
it's
So
crazy.
brings up a
the
good
shipping
point.
is the shipping on eBay is what kills you, John. It's crazy.
When
On a
C-3PO
bumper?
was arguing
Poof.
with R2, when they were on Geonosis, he's like, he said, they were arguing about like, I'm the expert on humans, so I must be in charge. He's like, he was telling R2, he's like, you think a lot for a Astro droid, and it got me wondering. Yeah, he does. Why is R2 so damn special when R4, the one that Obi-Wan brought, just sat in the freaking ship the entire time like a good little boy and didn't screw with anything? But R2 can't help himself in every situation. So was R2 like? Why is he so inquisitive and so different than other Astro droids?
It's a good
He's actually a cyborg. They took someone's brain and they implanted it in an R2 droid. Problem solved.
Actually, a point to that.
Actually,
Yes,
I think you and me just had the same thought,
when
Jordan.
Obi-Wan
Go
met
ahead.
Dex, which is a mustached freaking cook at a space diner. Okay. What was the exact line that I quoted? Because I thought it was so weird that they said this. He said, "If droids could think, there would be none of us here." So Obi-Wan said that to Dex because Dex was saying, "Oh, they couldn't tell where this is from. You can tell from this dart that it's from Camino."
The
Yeah,
saber dart from the
Yeah, because
Camino.
the droids
Yeah, he said if droids
focus
could
on
think,
shapes
there would
and
be
nothing
none
else.
of us here. Well, there is a
Analytic.
difference between
Yeah.
androids and droids and cyborgs, whatever. But R2 is an astro droid. He clearly is sentient and thinking critically at all times. So I was super put off by that. Like, I get it.
I always
He
like
was
where did he came from Naboo, right?
No, he was just the lucky one. He was on the ship that brought them out of Naboo originally through the blockade to Coruscant, and he was one of like 5 asteroids. The rest of them got completely destroyed. Yeah, blown up. He survived. He
Got blown
rerouted the
off,
power,
yeah.
and then he's just been around ever since. I don't know, just because. But he's special, and he can fly, which I completely
'Cause he's got
forgot
a
about
human
that
brain
scene
inside.
that he flew around. I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Which you
So-
never saw that again after that.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So we actually did not have the same thought, Jordan, because my brain went to the scene later on in the Pit of Jedi Death, where C-3PO's head is put onto a battle droid, and a battle droid's head's put onto
Put
his
on his
body.
body.
But they both
meant-
act
yeah.
like C-3PO. And I was like, wait,
No,
where
no,
is C-3PO's brain?
the body of the battle droid. He was remember he was shooting the Jedi and he was like, "Die, Jedi scum." Oh, why did I say that? Remember that?
No, yeah, I know, but like C-3PO's body with the battle droid head talks like the battle droid, but acts like C-3PO. But like C-3PO's head on the battle droid's body
Talks
acts
like-
like a
checked
battle
out.
droid, but talks like C-3PO.
And still talks, still acts. He's still like sort of half and half because he's killing the Jedi and
Yeah.
wanting to, but not wanting
Yeah.
to. It's weird. It's very, very
It's
badly
like,
written.
what the hell?
It's
like,
horrible.
How in the hell
Sucks.
do their brain is just like everywhere on their body?
I didn't like
Oh, well,
any
I
of
don't
that,
know.
so
Programming,
I just
buddy.
kind of checked
Cool.
out.
It was stupid.
The whole
It was
the
stupid.
whole
This entire
factory
movie? I
scene
couldn't
was
agree
so
more.
dumb.
I mean, I wasn't present the whole movie. You know, I was on my phone a lot for this one. I'm gonna be honest.
I can't blame you.
You know, I was like, oh, screwing around on my phone. You know, oh yeah, Jedi's, oh cool, lightsabers. I've seen this one before. You know how many times I've seen the prequels? Probably, not as many, but a lot of
I
times.
think
I've still seen them a lot of times.
If I
you know,
Yeah.
you can't just watch one of them. You got to
Mhm.
watch kind of all of them. You know.
You have to watch all of them to get context of the trilogy as a whole. Like that's how I judge the series
Can't-
that I
yeah, you
watch,
can't-
like
you
TV
can't just-
series and animes.
Yeah, you can't just watch fucking like Empire Strikes. Well, you could just watch Empire Strikes Back. You probably enjoy it, but you can't just like watch Return of the Jedi without. You know what I mean? You can just like
Any
watch-
context,
Yeah.
anything before that, yeah.
I mean, I think we firmly established at this point these movies kind of suck at giving you context regardless.
All of
so-
all of Star Wars movies do.
Did anybody else think it was weird that like when Anakin got his hand chopped off, he just like passed out?
Well, I mean,
little
massive.
bit.
Wait. So a lightsaber cauterizes it simultaneously, so he wouldn't have lost
Yeah.
blood, right?
Yeah. He was just like, ah! Like he passed out from the instant pain or something.
Some
I also love how he tried to dual wield for like 2
And
seconds.
he got
and
that
then he's,
lightsaber
"Oh,
destroyed
whoops,"
too.
immediately. Yeah.
Which was the exact moment where I knew he was going to lose that lightsaber duel.
Oh, also, to further discredit Padme's decision making,
Jesus.
when they were in the grass talking and rolling around and riding alien beasts and laughing and being the cringiest part of this whole movie.
I made you think I was dead.
Oh God, kill me. So when they were having a picnic, she was talking about like Senate Senate politics and stuff, right? And they were having a little bit of a
Oh my
political
god, I
discussion.
know exactly where you're
And-
going with this.
And she was like, well, sometimes not everyone agrees. And then Anakin's like, well, someone should make them agree.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, you're talking like a dictatorship. And then they just kind of laugh it off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, that was the
it was
moment
it
where I was
it was a hard red flag for him becoming a fucking.
Hard red
dude, that was the
flag.
exact
He's
moment
like-
where I
he's
was
like,
like,
okay.
dude, Anakin's already gone.
When
We've
he
already lost him.
when he said, well, somebody should make them, that was mad like
I was
mad
like, okay.
like, oh, make them, huh?
Wow.
Oh, and also, is there no one else at the palace to say, hey, you guys are spending a lot of time together. I know he's your security detail, but do you have to go
How
on
come you guys are
picnics
always
with him
sweaty
too?
when you leave?
Like no one else
Yeah.
is overseeing this, and it's what a horrible idea for the Jedi Council and Obi-Wan to set. Obi-Wan knows he's still in love with Padme, knows he can't stop thinking about her, and he sends
Once again,
them off with her. I mean, the terrible decision making.
once
they
again,
should
I
have
hold
gave her a
fast
new
that if
detail.
didn't-
They should have gave
yeah,
her Kit Fisto
if
or
they-
somebody.
Yes,
Plow Koon, if they gave her
Yeah.
Plow Koon, this whole series, this whole trilogy would have stopped right there.
she would have fell in love with Kit Fisto though. I mean, who couldn't?
Look at your long flowing tendrils.
Imagine her and Kit Fisto rolling around in the grass and just talking by the fireplace, and Kit's like, "We can keep it
Paint
secret."
me like one of your underwater girls.
Oh
Alright,
my
I got
God.
a dip on that.
I love it, dude. That's my head cannon right there.
No! God damn it, Jordan.
Kit Fisto.
Oh my god,
I
dude.
love it.
It's so good.
Oh, when they bury, so totally separate from that. Back at Tatooine, when they bury
Shmi.
Anakin's
Shmi
mother, there
Skywalker.
were 3 graves there. Shmi, there were 3 graves there, and I
The
thought
Tusken
that was
Raiders be
interesting. I don't know if-
murderers, bro.
I know, but they didn't bring it up or talk about
No,
it.
I
don't know if
think
there was any
I think it's
significance or if
just
it was
a
just a.
testament to them Tusken Raiders be killing. You know, they be stacking bodies, son. That's all I'm saying.
And they're always so proud of themselves. In the first movie, I loved
They
the
shoot,
scene
they
when
shot
they
a thing, and
at
they're like,
the,
"Rah, rah, rah."
and they were so happy with
They are.
themselves. I was like,
They
oh,
are
good
they
job,
are though, and
guys.
that gaffy stick, that stick they have to like knock Luke out. That's
Yeah.
called like a gaffy stick. That's like their weapon. But they love rifles. But they're mean with a gaffy stick, apparently.
Another incredible nod and just kudos to Mandalorian, because in that show, in like the 3rd or 4th episode, when he has to actually negotiate and work with the Tusken Raiders, like he goes in with respect. He knows it's their land. He has to offer something to them for passage. Like it's that broadened the scope and the complexity of them more than anything else. So I liked seeing that in the Mandalorian, like to give the Tusken Raiders a
Yeah.
little more.
No, if
depth,
you read
right?
the Kenobi book, you
humanize them a
get
little
that. You
bit.
get a lot of depth from them. If you read the Kenobi book, which I implore you do.
There's
Kenobi book.
every time I talk to you, you tell me to read a different book. You got to slow down. There's too many books for me to read. I'm overwhelmed.
Oh, start writing them,
overwhelmed.
the names of them down, and you don't have to read anything. You can just listen to them.
I'm so honestly, I don't have great experience with audiobooks, and I'm worried that I'll just like zone out for 5 or 10 minutes and be like,
when you're
whoa, where
driving
am
is
I?
the best if you have a long drive. But what I do when I'm not driving and I'm
Jordan
listening,
doesn't go anywhere.
well, anyways, this is what I do. When I'm going to sleep, I go to sleep a little bit earlier, and I'll throw it on, and it'll like caress me to sleep. And as I'm dozing off, I'll turn it off and go to sleep. And then what I'll do the next day is I'll have to rewind like a good 5 or 10 minutes because I like sort of sleep through some of it. That's how I know I'm falling asleep, is when I like don't know where I am in a book. Like I just kind of wake up. I kind of like come in and start to come in and out. Like the other day, I had to rewind like 30 minutes. Dude, I listened to all of the God of War book. I slept through the whole thing, and it's like subconsciously in me now because I just slept through it. And then I had to rewind the whole book and listen to it again.
So scrolling through my notes, there are some last minute things that I wanted to bring up. The fight between Django, and Obi-Wan when they're going through the asteroid field at Geonosis, that damn
That's such a cool weapon. That's such a cool
mine
weapon.
noise is such an dude, and the sound for that is so incredible.
I love it too. I always like that.
Sound
Just like
so
the
much.
Slave One and Jango Fett and Boba Fett in general. They're like utility belt Batman. They would give Batman a run for his money for sure. You know what I mean?
Django, I mean, when that one random Jedi jumped up to take on Dooku, Django just one shot, he
Yeah.
was gone. Briefly in
I
the
don't think
Coliseum.
Django went out as much like of a bitch as you said because it was Mace Windu. Mace Windu is a G. Mace Windu is a capital G.
Mhm.
He's a motherfucking G.
Also, I think the earlier Republic AT-AT designs are tactically way better than the Empire AT-AT
They must have been
designs.
cutting corners in cost or something. That's all I can think of because a lot of
Yeah,
a
they
lot
were
of a
way
lot of the
better.
things are better when you look at it. And my dad would always explain to things like because when you see like it was my dad made an interesting point when I was a kid. I was like, how come, you know, in the prequel movies were coming out, I'm like, how come everything seems more technologically advanced in the past in Star Wars than it did in the future? And he's like, well,
Yeah.
he's like, well, first of all, the original movies were made in like the 70s and shit, son. But if you want to be in the, too true to the movies, he's like, the Empire is like enslaves things and the reach of the Empire is so massive and they don't care about the technological advances of those they conquer, right? They're not there to make things technologically. They're trying to
They're
they're
there to assimilate.
oppressing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and I was like, so that his reasoning was always like my basis for that. I was always like, okay, Dad, you're like, you're always gonna take, because Dad said so. It must be real. But
And my last point that I want to bring up is one of the last scenes that you see in the movie when they're getting married. Every artificial limb I've ever seen in Star Wars has been super high quality, but Anakin's random ass Terminator gold hand is such a piece of
no, I
shit.
like it. I like.
Why did he have such a
I like
terrible
it better
hand?
than Luke's real looking hand.
At least it makes a little bit more sense.
It's just so.
Yeah, it does.
It literally looks like the
But
freaking Terminator.
it is so it is
It's
I like it.
terrible.
And imagine that cold steel in Padme, and she's like, I'm gonna do ASMR. She's like,
It's a metaphor.
she's
Fine.
like, hey, give me the metal hand. The metal hand.
That's disgusting. Hilarious, but disgusting.
So the only other thing that I wanted to bring up was did anybody else notice that the guy trying to sell Obi-Wan death sticks is Mouse from the Matrix?
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I didn't notice that. I did love that scene though. You're gonna go
I will
home and
go home.
rethink
I
this
love that
line.
too. I love that he'd use his powers for good. That was such an Obi-Wan thing. You know what I mean? Like that's Obi-Wan. That's why he didn't use the Force to kill Jango Fett. That's why he didn't use the Force to crush that stupid Mantis thing. And straight up Anakin was a G. He rode his death monster. He jumped on that bitch.
Yeah, no, he
Wasn't
calmed
that
it. Yeah, he calmed
the
it with the
the
Force.
mud thing that homeboy killed? The mud horn?
No, it was
That wasn't a
no, it
mud
was
horn?
different.
Are you
It was
sure?
different.
Dean.
No, it was different.
Dean, you're gonna be
Very
my
sure.
Jamie. You're gonna be
The
Joe
Mudhorn
Rogan's
only
Jamie.
has
Dean.
Mudhorn
I'm
only has one horn. That one had three. It was
Dean,
a
I'm gonna
different
need you
creature.
to pull up a video.
All right.
Not a video.
Jordan's right if it's helpful to you.
I know I'm right about that. Yeah.
Fuck you, Jordan.
Hey. Also, did you guys like the beginning chase scene on the speeders and stuff? Because I
No, but I
didn't
did.
really like
But
it
what
at
I
all. I thought it
do
was kind
like
of
is in
stupid.
Revenge of the Sith when they crash their fucking cool ass Jedi starfighters into the fucking ship, and I can't wait to talk about that. But you know what I also liked about this movie is Obi-Wan's Jedi spaceship is so cool. How it has that deep space ring docking thing that he has to. That
Great
is so
idea.
cool.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Because it can't go. Oh, that reminds me. How the hell then? Okay, so his starfighter can't go light speed without the assistance of like a
Yeah.
module like that. Makes total sense. That
Like, I'm
makes
buying
complete
it,
sense to
right?
me.
Like,
How the
in
hell?
an X-wing.
How the hell in the beginning of the movie? No.
Get an
How the hell
A-wing.
in the beginning of the movie were those? How are the Naboo fighters, the golden ones? How are they following the ship into Coruscant without
Well,
they
I
didn't
guess
show any
every
external
ship is
modules?
different in that regard, and you have to think of the Jedi. Maybe Obi-Wan just has an older ship, or that's just how that particular ship is designed.
No, that's a Jedi. I mean, that's a
But a
Jedi starfighter.
but
That's like their
A Naboo
starfighter.
starfighter isn't a Jedi starfighter.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I don't see how. I'm assuming here, of
Those
course,
Naboo
but
starfighters are
I
so
don't see how
cool.
it's gonna freaking go sublight speed.
I like the
I don't know how
Naboo
it's gonna go light
ships.
speed.
I
Whatever.
like the Naboo ships. The star.
I actually don't like their
You know what
design.
I like?
I like them in Rogue One. I mean, in Rogue Squadron, the Naboo starfighter in that game is like the best ship. It's the fastest and has the best. It's the best ship.
What I really like in this movie is Watto.
Yeah, I like how he was like, "Little
Honestly,
Annie,
I
little Annie, is that you? It is you.
You are
it
You
felt
are
Annie.
Annie." I like him too.
it felt kind of good to see Watto
I
again. It
just feel
felt good.
like how is Anakin supposed to like want to hang out with you when he was your slave? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. It's like read the room, bro.
yeah,
Like
read the
this is
room.
not
Yeah.
going the way you think it
Yeah.
is.
Hey, don't call him a slave. He's a human being. He brings
Right.
it up in
Well,
the first movie.
he was like, you wanna catch up, and Anakin's like,
I've
he's like,
got these guys that you could really help
yeah,
me out
yeah,
with.
he's like trying to get him to like a Jedi to go do his dirty work, but Anakin, knowing Anakin, he's a straight murderer apparently, but just crazy that
I got some. I got some
Anakin
Tusken
straight up,
Raiders
he's
to
like, well,
kill.
I could find out. He's like, yeah, find out, like, no, asshole. I obviously want to
Yeah, he's
know.
like, do it right now. Speaking
Yeah.
of death, like did you guys catch that throwaway line that Obi-Wan says to Anakin where he's like, why do I get the feeling you'll be the death of me one day?
Oh yes,
I was like,
yes.
oh, cringe, bro.
Got him.
Jesus Christ.
But on the same note is Obi-Wan in his mind for a very long time until he felt Vader, thought he killed Anakin.
Hmm.
He was
Yeah, because like
convinced.
not
Yeah,
only did you see it in Revenge of the Sith, I'm pretty sure that it looks like almost Obi-Wan pushes him into the lava with the
that's not true. People knew about Vader
But
after
would
that. Maybe there
Obi-Wan
was a
know about
period
it?
where
No,
he
yeah, because
thought
Like
Obi-Wan
Obi-Wan's
pieced
a
out
hermit in the middle of a desert,
and
dude.
with no contact to hide from the
he
Empire.
does.
You know what I mean? He felt in the
I
Kenobi book it
yeah, I guess
explains that
so.
he feels Vader's presence, that he feels Anakin still out there. But it wasn't immediately. There's contemplation in that book of him thinking to himself or he's actually trying to contact Qui-Gon Jinn because it mentions Yoda's training for him. And he's trying to contact
Oh,
Qui-Gon and he's like, I felt him, he's still alive. He's actually failing. It's really hard for Obi-Wan to get in touch with Qui-Gon, but when he does get in touch with Qui-Gon teaches Obi-Wan how to become a Force ghost, and Obi-Wan in turn teaches Yoda how to become a Force ghost, and that's how that all goes. By the way.
speaking of that, when Anakin, so when Yoda was reflecting at the same time that Anakin was killing all those Tusken Raiders, and Yoda sensed it, Qui-Gon said, "Anakin, no, stop!" He was like, it's like Anakin's Force Ghost was trying to reach out
Qui-Gon.
to, sorry, Qui-Gon's Force Ghost was trying to reach out to Anakin and tell him to stop. I definitely did not
Oh,
remember
yeah,
that
that's
ever
crazy.
You know
happening.
what's weird about
But
that though is like without subtitles, you hear that being said, but like you don't know that that's Qui-Gon
But
Jinn.
with the subtitles,
you're right. I only knew it was
say it, yeah.
subtitles. Yep.
And then with the thing with the
Yep.
younglings, it's crazy. Like I always thought it was fucked up how he killed the younglings, but then with the context of he's not new to killing women and children. Like he did it.
They
That's
bring
actually
it
a
up
good point. Yeah.
specifically.
He's pretty seasoned when it comes to killing his emotions and doing that dark fucked up shit.
He's an expert.
Expert level mass murder.
Unfortunately,
he's
an
also an
expert.
expert level manipulator, dude. Like he was
Not
dropping
really.
some mad poetry on Padme.
Oh god, so
It
cringe.
was so bad.
So
It was
dude.
so
bad, yeah.
It was
cringe, man.
so
I hated it.
bad. And she was falling for it hook,
Something.
line, and sinker.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't believe this for a second, dude.
Well, she was fighting. I mean, she was fighting, but I mean, about as weakly as she could
It's like,
fight it.
no,
But
please don't. I don't know why my dress just fell off.
Oh my god. Well, that Jedi
One
mind
thing,
trick, you will take your dress off. You will undo your bra. You will take your
actually, she freaking brings that up when they're sitting in the field. She's like, "Are you going to use your force powers to do something like make me fall in love with you or whatever?" And he's like, "No, we can only control the weak mind, the weak minded." So she actually
So
does
but
she
make a
he
joke
but
about
totally
that.
is
he
in that category.
manipulated her by calling her smart, you know? Women love when you lie to them.
Well, she's supposed to be smart, but whatever. But
No,
something that we
you
didn't
guys
talk
didn't catch
about
my
that
brief.
that I do want to bring
Oh,
up.
I caught it. I just
Okay.
ignored it.
Yeah, good. You can ignore it.
Something I do want to bring up that we didn't talk about. I said that maybe Anakin's a downfall wasn't totally on him, right? Because maybe Obi-Wan is to blame a little bit here, and I think we see some of that. Because although Anakin is angsty and pissed off, he's like, he never lets me do anything that I want. He's so mean to me all the time about Obi-Wan, like he's some kind of controlling father. Obi-Wan always, consistently, every damn scene, he is always like, yes, my Padawan. Oh, yes, Padawan, Padawan, Padawan. Always, 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 always undermining him constantly.
Yeah, he is.
It's not
He's
it's not
always undermining him.
undermining him. He is a Padawan.
And it's
He is in training.
I
And
know,
he's
but
clearly defiant. Like he
well,
needs to let him know, like, this is your place.
and
You need to stop injecting
here's
yourself
a
because I'm
personal
telling you this is how
I
it's
have
done.
personal experience in this exact thing because here's the thing. The age gap in Obi-Wan and Anakin isn't as great as like you would say between Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. It's not like this crazy older mentor. He's older than him, but he was still a kid when he took him as a fucking Padawan initially. Really, he was a young man. So like in my personal experiences as a young foreman for a roofing company, I've had younger helpers work for me, like 21, 22, whereas I was like 28, 29 at the time. And I've seen that whole thing go down where you have to constantly say that you need to listen to me because I'm your boss, and then they're still defiant. And you see, and the reasoning, there's a way to. I've definitely now I've learned how to snip that in the butt. But back then, I really found myself having almost verbatim conversations like, "No, you need to know your place," or "No, you need to go do this because I told." I once told a guy I'm doing like all this work, and I just told him, "Hey man, can you roll up these extension cords? We're done with them, and get out all this stuff, just trash picked up and off the roof, and we can get out of here." He's sitting down on his phone and looks at me and says, "Nah," and I said, "All right, man, I'll just do everything. Get the fuck off the roof." And then I don't like to snitch on people, but I fucking when we got done with that job, I told my boss, and the dude got suspended, and he ended up quitting the job because he was too embarrassed because he's just a young idiot. He could have kept his job. I didn't get him fired. It was his choice to never come back, but it was just like a young stupid kid. Like all you have to do is this menial shit while I'm doing, taking measurements and cutting membrane and heat welding it. All I ask you to do is clean it and do the fucking shit, like you're not a skilled worker, bro. I need you to listen to me. If you can't do the basic shit, you'll never be able to do this shit. And I don't want you, if you're not going to help me, go away. Like, I don't need
Yeah.
this shit at all, And you, Dean, for what you used to do, you've probably seen plenty of fucking jack offs up there. Yeah.
So many. So
Yeah, the
many.
shit gets
I mean,
annoying, man. When you have to get
the
shit
point is
done.
like you can't always guide somebody like that to the light. Like
Well, and
sometimes they just
also,
have to find their own path.
Anakin, when it
And
comes, some people think, and I don't want to cut you off, but some people think, like he said, in a lot of ways, I'm better than him. In a lot of ways, yeah, you are stronger with the Force, but you don't have the practice that Obi-Wan has or
yeah,
the wisdom. You don't have the means to apply. Like if Obi-Wan had the means that Anakin had, oh my God, it would be crazy.
yeah. I mean, like at the end of the day, like if he had gone to Yoda instead of um
He should have.
Palpatine for advice,
He
it
should have
would have
been
gone
trained.
completely the other
He
direction.
should have been trained by Yoda. Yoda might have been able to because Yoda trained Luke, and look how that like Yoda might have been
Yoda
able to
probably could have, but
because
like,
Yoda's much older and can and knows like from what I've learned from older foremen who trained me, or when I would bring my problems with my old helper, fucking his name was Brian, but he had a nickname, and I don't even talk about this fucking asshole. But when I would talk to the older foreman about it, they were like, "Oh, this is how I would handle it." Thinking back, man, I should have asked them for advice way sooner because that dude might still have a job. We might still be working together. I'm glad we're not, but at the end of the day, older people, older mentors are better for younger people. They respect them more than they respect someone who's only 5 years older than them, who they don't see as like, man, why is he my boss? He hasn't, you know what I mean? He's like me, or like they try to be your friend. Is like we can't be friends. We need to be coworkers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, it's like the Jedi Order is not even like a job. It's more like
No,
joining the
that's
military
oh well, yeah,
or a
yeah.
religion.
Well, it's like
And
kind of like both, I guess. Yeah, it's an institute.
yeah,
It is
yeah.
an institution for sure.
And so for Anakin, he needed somebody who he needed somebody who he needed somebody who could instill the right values into him. And maybe Obi-Wan's not that person, but it takes a really specific person to get somebody there if they're not doing it willingly.
Right. I think it would have had to been Yoda. I think Yoda would have been like Yoda would have either got him on the right track, or if he saw that he couldn't, kicked his ass the fuck out.
Honestly, I think Obi-Wan could be the right person to do it if
Maybe if it was
Anakin wasn't having
older
n
Obi-Wan, like what
no,
Luke got.
even younger Obi-Wan. I think that, like, what we see of Obi-Wan would have been effective, but the problem that Anakin had was that Palpatine was whispering in his ear the whole time all the wrong shit that put all these thoughts into his head and fucked everything up.
It's true. Definitely.
If
Definitely.
he didn't have that, if like Yoda was the one who he was going to for advice when he was struggling with these things or something like that. I mean, Mace Windu, literally
See,
anybody.
here's a position, and I can see the turmoil that Anakin had. So, and we're gonna talk way more about this when we get to the next movie, which I can't. This is actually Revenge of the Sith is definitely up in one of my favorites. But when we talk about when Anakin had to choose between Mace Windu and Palpatine, I see why he chose Palpatine now. But when I saw that for the first time, which I can't wait to tell you about the first time I saw that movie. You guys are gonna think I'm lying. Like you guys won't believe it. It's absolutely crazy. Anyways, that choice he had to make is is like what if you were in that position? You have a guy that is actually like you're a good mentor, your friend, or a guy who you're supposed to kill Palpatine and choose Windu, but it's not that simple because of the relationship between Palpatine and Anakin. The choice was already made. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a window all along. You know what I mean? It was oh crazy, crazy, crazy.
Well, did you gentlemen have anything else that you wanted to bring up for episode 2 before we wrap up?
Um, I think that
I've said
I
my
think
piece.
that we could have probably touched a little bit more on how badass Yoda was against Darth Tyrannus, and but I think we covered it pretty good. I don't know. I think
Yeah, I mean,
the best part of the movie is definitely the action. The story in
yeah.
retrospect could have been executed way better, but yeah, I mean, shit movie's a shit movie, I suppose.
I couldn't have said it any better myself. Before we go, if you enjoyed this and you're on YouTube, be sure to drop us a like and subscribe for more of these. If you're enjoying us on your favorite podcast service, drop us a review. It really helps us out here. And don't forget to come chat with us in the Discord. If you want to support the show a little bit more, you can also find us on Patreon, where you can get the show 3 days early, help us pick topics for upcoming episodes, and more. And join us next week when we wrap up the prequel trilogy with what many consider to be the best of them all, Revenge of the Sith. And as always, have fun out there, guys.